Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream on ESOC TV. Not gonna be playing Age of Empires 3 tonight, but going for a different game, Age of Empires Online. I'm here with Ryan from ESOC and along with Carnage and Give You Anxiety from the Age of Empires Online community. Welcome.
Yo, what's up, guys? Hi.
Well, hello everybody. Very exciting stream. PvP launch of Age of Empires Online, and we formed a partnership with ESOC, and basically I'll let Ryan talk about that.
Sure. Hey everyone. Welcome to the stream. As you guys know, you may have seen the news post. ESOC is really excited about this one. We've been at it for 3 years now, and we're finally ready to give another Age of Empires game a home. This Age of Empires Online is a game that actually came out a few years after Age of Empires 3 was really starting to slow down.
Yeah. So, so we're gonna have a couple of games here, best of 5 series, and we have the Mista and Soldier right now, and Edeholland is gonna be casting with Carnage.
Hello. So yeah, I'm gonna be casting, I think first a Showmatch and after that a best of 5, if I'm correct. The schedule is still being made as we talk here, I believe. So, going to be casting, of course. Age of Empires Online is not really my specialty, so Carnage will be doing most of the casting there. And,
I will try to do my best. Yes.
I will be the cameraman.
Yeah. It looks like we're going to have a garage match first between the Mista and Soldier. I think Soldier is pretty well known in the Age of Empires 3 community as well, but he was also one of the best players back then in Age of Empires Online. And the Mista, most of you guys probably know him as well, is one of the best, I would say, Age of Empires players in general. And both of these guys had quite the rivalry going on back in the day, so this is going to be fun to see them go at it once again. And after that, we're going to give you guys a best of 5 between Give You Anxiety, you know him from Age of Empires 3, and Zertan, who's a very good player in Age of Empires Online, one of the best, I would say. So this is going to be very exciting as well, and I hope we can give you some good games.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, I know Soldier and the Mista mostly from the Age of Empires 3 times. I may even have casted a game between them, and now back at it again, but in another game. Really like to see them finding it out again in this garage match. Yeah, going to play PvP for the first time, really.
I'm absolutely hyped for this. This is going to be so fun. It's been so long, man. I love this game to death, and I'm so glad to see it back. And I'm absolutely excited to give you some PvP action. I hope you like it. I hope some of you guys are going to give it a chance, try it out. Don't judge it by the graphics, I would say. Like, I heard that some of you guys were not so excited when you saw the graphics, but don't judge it by that, because the gameplay is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. You're going to love it. So if you want, give it a try. And I'm going to see if these guys are ready for the first game. What do you say about that, Edith?
Yeah, so we'll pretty much let you guys get on your way. Me and go ahead and leave this call and leave you two to cast these series. And I guess one small last reminder, Edeholland, I'm not sure, I think you were observing the game earlier, test one, but you can move the stat bars and put them like anywhere on the screen. You know what I'm talking about, right. Carnage? Yeah, so they're not like stuck where they are. You can pick them up, and like we would usually put each one in on the top of the screen, you know, kind of like you can organize it, you know.
Yeah,
you'll get a feel for it.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can still ask me, I guess.
Right.
So it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it. We're gonna leave it to you guys. All right. See you guys.
See you
guys.
See you later. Thank you a lot. Give You Anxiety.
Good luck and have fun.
Yeah, the party is up here, so looks like everybody is ready.
Okay, looks like both Soldier and Mista are ready, so I think we're good to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the invite, and I'm going to turn on the sound for the game now. There we have it. Maybe a little bit too loud, so I'm gonna turn it down a notch. Usually these games are just always too loud.
Alright, let's do this. We're gonna play on the most famous PvP map in Age of Empires Online, I would say. It's called Equal Footing. It's a very basic map, very standard, but people love to play on it because the resources are very balanced. The map itself is not too small, it's not too big. It doesn't have any gimmicks or something. It's just a very basic, well-designed PvP map. Everybody loves it, so we're going to start on that one. And I'm going to send the invite now. Let's hope we don't run into any connection problems or whatever. And you see Mista Team 1, Soldier Team 2, spectators, everything is fine. All right, guys, let's try this.
Yeah, there we have the invite. Of course, this is still quite a new version, like the whole PvP player versus person version. So we shouldn't run into any trouble, but you never know, of course.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we're in the game, so it's actually working. That is amazing. Great. So we have I'm Soldier US spawning in the north position. Both of them are playing the Greek civilization. For you guys, if you want to try out the game has 6 civilizations: the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Celts, the Persians, the Babylonians, and the Vikings. But so far, only 2 civilizations are playable: the Greeks and the Egyptians, and also the Persians, but only for those who supported the project. But they are releasing new civs kind of every 10 days or so. So within 1 month, we should have all civilizations playable. Soldier spawning in the north, and the Mista spawning in the south position.
Yeah, and as you can see, nothing too unusual happening yet. I really like, by the way, how in the minimap you can actually see where their focus is on, what they are looking at. Really makes gives a little bit of insight in what they are thinking and what they are doing.
Absolutely. You can see if they are responding to harass or whatever they're doing. It's a very good feature. Yeah, I agree. Well, you're not seeing anything too out of the usual. It's just standard Age of Empires gameplay. The Mista found a hunt on the side, which is very good. Hunting in this game, as you know, in every Age of Empires game is very strong. The gathering rate is much higher than berries or herdables, for example. Mista also gathering stone right now, which means that he is going for a build that is very famous in Age of Empires Online, that kind of got his rise to fame in the late days of Age of Empires Online, is where you go to H2 and you rush a second TC right away to get that eco boom going. Very, very strong build, and it looks like Mista is going for that. While Soldier is opting to not go for stone at all, so he's probably going to play way more aggressive, and is going to make production facilities and units much quicker than the Mista, trying to do some early pressure.
Yeah, and I don't know if he has scouted out that Mista is gathering stone, because if he has, it's indeed a very good response, of course, to go for a little bit more aggressive style, but it might just be that he knows the other player and he feels comfortable with this strategy here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure, because if I remember correctly, man, it has been so long, so I'm not absolutely sure, but if I remember correctly, then Soldier kind of didn't really play that much anymore when this build rise to fame. So he probably doesn't even know about it, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe he just thinks like, screw it, I'm not going to do that build. I'm just going to play old school. I'm going to play that Greek 1-1-1, 1 barracks, 1 stable, 1 archery range. I'm just going to put the pressure on the Mista really hard. The thing is, he needs to do damage with that. He can't just like run around Mista's base and just try to scare him or something. He actually needs to do damage. If he can't do that, then the Mista is going to be so much ahead economically by the second TC and the double villager production that it's going to be very hard to win the game for him.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like how usually the game rolls out a little bit. I mean, the more aggressive civs do win against those who are only booming, but in the long run they do have a disadvantage just because they sacrifice their eco a little bit for
yeah, that's true. Interestingly enough, Soldier is going for stone right now, so it looks like he is kind of doing the build, but it's very not the most optimal execution that he's doing. As you can see, his economy is already quite off. He's floating a lot of resources while the Mista is spending them very well. Is already always in the 2 digits, while Soldier is having like 400, 200 in the bank. So looks like Soldier is a little bit rusty. As you can see, Mista is already building his TC. It's halfway done while Soldier hasn't even started it yet. Plus, he doesn't have a production facility, so he's basically just pretty much behind in the game.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, Mista putting it up very quickly here in the center of the map, and Soldier is only just in the second age, so it's a long way off from finishing that second down. It's now going up though, in the right. Not so aggressive as the Mista. What do you think about that placement?
Well, I think that Soldier's placement is obviously like, I wouldn't say better, but it's safer. It's a lot safer. I mean, he's basically protecting the gold mine, and he's protecting the hunt, because town center fire in Age of Empires Online is quite strong, so he can easily defend a couple of units for that. Mista, on the other hand, is putting it down more aggressively, which is risky, of course. But on the other hand, he's kind of getting lots of map control with that. Like, he has the middle of the map secured, which is so important. And also look at all the resources that he's kind of protecting with the town center. He's got stone, he's got gold, he's got berries, he's got a hunt. It's an absolutely amazing placement for a town center if you can defend it.
Yeah, for sure, but he does have a slight advantage in time here, so I think with equal builds he should be able to defend it quite nicely. His first units just popped out of the barracks, and Soldier still has to finish his barracks, and he's now like 6 villagers up, so he should be fine for now, I think.
6 villagers up, already building his 3rd production facility. Soldier starting his 2nd. Let me see what it is. So Soldier is going for the barracks and the archery range, going for the meat line with lots of range DPS behind it, while Mista is going for the standard 1-1-1, adding a stable as well, so he has some mobile units which he can use to harass Soldier and put some pressure on him. The units, basically what Mista is building right now, are called the Hyperspist. They are anti-infantry, so they're very good against stuff like spearmen. The Toxotes that you can build from the archery range, basic bowmen, also good against infantry, really good actually. And the Cerisopheroi, the cavalry unit that he's building right now, is anti-ranged, so you can basically flank the bowmen with it and absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, and we might see our first confrontation here. We see Mista going in with his units. He's got and even more coming behind, but don't want to really go in quite yet. Soldier made a little bit of a wall with his building, so it's going to be not so easy to break in.
Yeah, and also as you could see the town center firing. It has lots of range, and it does have, let me check real quick, it does 26 DPS, so that is quite high if you compare it to a bowman, for example, which only has 11 DPS. So basically fighting under your town center gives you an extra 2.5 bowmen, so that is huge.
Yeah, for sure. So Soldier is going to be okay for now. I don't know what... okay, so I assume the range of the town center is the same as its line of sight?
No. Oh wait, is it? I don't really remember. It's been so long. But what I know for a fact is that the range of the town center is a little bit higher than its, how do I call this? Than its outer range. So it's basically shooting units as they pop in range, but you can actually manually target units and have a little bit more range. So that's a different. It's very interesting mechanic. So if you have the APM to spend, you can do some extra DPS with more range. It's very nice.
Yeah, that really makes it a little bit more focused on like skill in terms of APM.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I really like.
PF2K is just whispering me in the chat that the range is actually more than the line of sight.
Okay. Okay, so because I'm seeing the line of sight here on the right in this town center, and it's actually quite far, so really gives a good advantage for defensive measures.
Absolutely, Mista coming in with a huge rage. He's got 6 cavalry units over there, and he is just focusing down the villages, which is very nice by the Mista. So he really has the skill. You can't just run in your units and let them fire by themselves, because then they're going to spread the fire, and it's going to take very long to kill the villages. So you just have to focus them one by one, shift click on the villages to get the maximum value out of your cavalry units as Greek.
Yeah, and here we can see Soldier going in, but Mista on the right of the map on the flank, so he might get caught out of position a little bit here. Looks like Soldier is going to try to do some damage, and Mista isn't going back for it. He just Okay, so it looks like Soldier's going
Yeah,
back now.
the Mista is very confident in his ability to defend this push by Soldier
Yeah.
by having the wall of the buildings and the town center fire and a couple of units and reinforcements. That he decided, okay, screw it, I'm just gonna attack on the other side and do some counter damage, which I think is smart because as you can see, Soldier decided to back off because he was like, oh man, I can't win this, I have to go back and defend.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how much damage Mista did there though. His villagers were going into the town center right on time, and I think he only took some town center damage. So I don't think it was too useful. On the other hand, he made Soldier go back again, so that is a nice advantage for him, of course.
Yeah, that is true. What does the villager count say? We have 54 villages for the Mista and 49 for Soldier, so it's pretty even. Mista's got the slight advantage in economy right now. And oh, we missed something huge. Mista is actually going to H3. He's reaching it right now, and that is going to give him access to so much stronger units and especially upgrades for the units that he already has. There is a mechanic in the game called champion upgrades. So what you have is basically the standard armory upgrades that you have in every Age of Empires game. Like you have the damage upgrade for every unit, like for ranged units and melee units, and then you have the armor upgrades. But then you also have a so-called champion upgrade for every unit in the game that kind of gives the unit a very unique boost. You can check it out in the production facilities. For example, the Greek Spearman Champion gets plus 25% pierce armor and plus 20% snare, while the Hippospis Champion is going to get 25% health and 15% movement speed. So every champion upgrade gives the unit kind of a unique touch.
Yeah, okay, so very interesting. I'm checking it out on the barracks right now, but there's so much stuff happening on the map meanwhile, so it's hard to keep
Yeah, it's
track
so
of
much
it.
action.
Let's see.
I think Soldier got a very good engagement in the top. Like he caught Mista's units with a big flank and killed so many of Mista's units.
For sure.
That they kind of even in supply. Mista was ahead by 20, but now after this good engagement, they're basically even in supply. So very nice for Soldier. Still though, he is behind in 1 age, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah, and with a lot of villagers. He's on 47 villagers right now against 63 of the Mista. He killed a lot of villagers near the second town center of Soldier, so let's see
Oh
how
my
this plays
god.
out.
Mista is actually going to H4 right now. So he is rushing the max age while Soldier is still stuck in H2. That is huge because Greek H4 gets access to the Ballistae. And the Ballistae are absolutely demolishing to H2 units. The siege unit with a huge splash, if the Mista can get out a couple of these, it's looking very, very dark for Soldier.
But what can Soldier do best here? Like follow up to H3 first, or just rush in and try to get advantage while he has it?
I think Soldier needs to go in right now as he has the military advantage. He can't sit back and try to catch up and go to H3 and go to H4 because the unit and tech advantage that the Mista has with H4, you can't make up by that to that by going to H3. That doesn't really work. So he has to win right now or he loses the game. And he's doing it. He's pushing in hard. He's just sending all the reinforcements down the map. So he wants to go for the kill.
Definitely, he's pushing in hard, and he's got a little bit of a. He's got a huge military lead actually. So definitely in a nice advantage spot here. But now H4 is coming in.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Mista, let's see if he's already building the Ballistae. He's gotten a siege workshop, so he can build them. He's not doing it right now because his supply kept really bad. So it looks very tough for the Mista, very rough right now.
If Soldier
because Soldier not.
Yeah, if Soldier keeps knocking down these
houses. Yeah, he's got so many ranged units, Like the bowmen, they kind of snowball. Once you have so many ranged units, it's very tough to beat them unless you get a really good flank with cavalry or something. Mista's army is basically only Cerisophoros, so the cavalry units. So I don't know if the Mista can defend this. He's making Toxodis now, he's making Peltas, Hippicons, the H4 cavalry unit, very beefy, high HP cavalry unit, and he's making his first Ballistae.
Yeah,
so once these pop out, that's gonna be absolutely huge. You can see it right now. See the unit just shooting in and just doing the massive splash damage.
Yeah, definitely. Taking down at least one or two units with each shot, but damaging everything around it. So doing so much damage against these archers. That's insane.
Mista doing it right. He is actually using the Ballistae to focus down the low HP archer units, which are obviously the best target for such a splash siege unit. And it looks like Mista is defending this by the like by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the population, you can see Soldier is really behind now, and I think right now Mista is in such an advantage with his 2 H's up that he can push in here and probably win the game from here. But it
I
was
think so
very
too.
close.
It was very close. I was scared for the Mista there for a second. It looked very dicey for him. But no, Soldier saying in the chat, my gold, sad smiley. So he's kind of realizing that he's got a gold problem. And that might kind of be a sign that he's going to resign very soon. He knows that he is still in H2 against Mista's H4. He doesn't have gold. There's basically nothing he can do at this point, I would say. I don't like to be anticlimactic, but I would call this GG actually.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have seen the big fight here, and Mista just popping out his ballistas just in time to defend against the huge archer spam of Soldier, and I think that really seals the deal here. Soldier is making another storehouse near the gold mine on the right of the map, but it's probably going to be way too late. He's still in H2 against H4 and not going.
He's really trying his best. He's also rushing up to markets to maybe sell some of the excess food that he has. But even then, he doesn't have enough production, he doesn't have enough supply, he doesn't have enough upgrades.
Yeah, for sure. So this is quickly turning into a victory for the Mista here. You see Soldier gathering the last of his ore on the right of the map, but his main town center now getting knocked down, and soon he's building a fortress even right in the middle of Soldier's base. So.
Oh, that's so rude by the Mista. That's so BM. Building the BM fortress right in the base of Soldier to tell him, dude, this is over, get out of my game.
Yeah, for sure, and I think we should see a resign here pretty soon. Soldier building on the right of the map, building his markets and storehouses, but it's getting torn down quicker than he can build it.
Yeah, he's actually cheeky, and he's also gathering gold on the left side. Mista hasn't scouted that yet, letting Soldier getting away with murder there. But at the end of the day, that's not going to save Soldier. He just doesn't have the units. I mean, look at this army. It's so pathetic. He's got a couple of spearmen and a couple of H2 cavalry units against this over here. 6 siege units, H4 cavalry. He's going in for the last desperate attempt.
Yeah, and that attempt is not going to end well. The ballistas alone just wreck that entire infantry army.
Yeah.
So,
and he's calling GG in the chat. Well played by the Mista.
yeah, GG.
Well played by Soldier as well. GG, nice effort by Soldier. But the king is still reigning.
For sure. I mean, it was close. Soldier did push in right on time when the Mista was going to H4 and actually had him popped for a while. And maybe if he torn down some more houses, he could actually make sure Mista couldn't get out any more military units.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that was a slight mistake that Soldier made. Instead of focusing down the low HP houses and just pop capping Mista forever and then getting the huge supply lead, he tried to kill the town center, but the H4 town center actually has 11,800 HP. So you're not going to kill that fast with your ranged units. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe focus on the other buildings would have been a better idea and might have turned the game around, but then again, you don't really know. So
I agree, you don't really know. So that was the first game for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me just tap out of the game and see if there's anything going on in the chat.
can I see like statistics anywhere or something?
Oh yes, you can, but only like, I hope you're still in the map.
Yeah,
Are
I
you?
am.
On the left side, there should be something called quest stats already. Click on that and you can see everything.
Quest stats on the left
Over the chat.
side?
Yes.
Let's see if I can see.
I mean not in the game. You're still on the map, right?
Yeah, I'm like in the I can see the game still on the map.
Okay, you can see the units are still and
Yeah.
stuff. Then it should be on the left side. I can see it. It's a guy with a beard, and he says quest stats already. You gotta click on that.
Oh, I don't see that anywhere.
Oh, then maybe accidentally you clicked it away by right click. That would be very unfortunate.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you though, so the Mista outgathered Soldier by about 3,000 resources.
Oh, I see. The chat box was in front of it.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh, but now I right-clicked it. Okay.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I really did.
That's so unfortunate.
I
All right,
know.
then we have to do that next game because actually the post-game stats in Age of Empires Online are pretty detailed and pretty well done actually.
Okay.
So
Yeah, my intuition is just to right-click on that stuff to open it.
okay, that happens.
I think from playing Factorio, I learned right-clicking is the way to open your menu.
It's fine. So let me see if anybody has some questions in the chat that we can answer before we go into the next best of 5 between Give You Anxiety, who's
Yeah.
already ready. He's hyped. He's in the chat saying, "Invite me. I want to play. I want to do this, boys."
All right. Well, the most question, the question I see the most is, I think, how do we get a code to sign in? But
Okay. It's basically pretty simple, but on the other hand, it's not that simple. So you have to join the Age of Empires Online Discord. There you can find all the files that you need to download for the game. And there's also frequently keys posted that you need to join the game right now. The reason there's keys is because the servers are still very young and we're still testing stuff. If everything is running smooth, they're kind of still in the beta phase or something. So access is kind of limited because you can't have like, I don't know, 2,000 people on the server when you don't know if everything is running perfectly fine. So right now you need a key, you need to join the Discord, and you need to ask people if they maybe have a spare key for your left. Sometimes they get posted, or you need to watch streams because streamers most of the time give away keys. If you can't find the key, then you just have to wait a couple more weeks until the game gets free to play for everyone.
all right. So I didn't know it would get free to play so soon. I thought. So how are these servers being kept alive then?
I am not the right guy to ask that question. I don't know. I'm just a player. I'm just a caster. I don't know. I don't know that actually. I have no idea how it's done. But these guys are doing an amazing job, and I hope we can have this game for a very long time actually.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you see how fast the development has gone, I think we can really make something
Yes,
happen
yes.
here. The community is also quite
Absolutely.
bigger than I thought.
We can do magic happen. We can absolutely do magic happen. One more thing that I want to mention, just in case there's somebody in the chat who still has this misconception about Age of Empires Online. The game is not pay to win anymore. Or you don't need to grind for gear or something to have better units. It was like that at the launch of Age of Empires Online like 5 or 6 years ago, which was a big mistake by the developers back then. They changed it. They gave us something called Champion Mode, where you can play basic PvP without any gear advantage or whatever. Everybody has the same. Gear in Champion Mode only counts as visuals, which is very nice. So you can kind of customize your units, make them look very dope, make them look scary, make them look cool, but it doesn't affect the stats of the units at all. So you can play it without having the fear of being at a disadvantage or whatever.
Ah, okay. So it's only the visuals that really makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's very cool actually. Like you can put like all kinds of gear on your units to make them look super cool, like gold gear, black gear. Then there's even something called vanity gear, which is very crazy, like giving your units the appearance of a snowman or of pirates or ninjas or whatever. But if you don't like that kind of stuff, you can disable it in the options so you don't see it. So that option is also there. Very cool.
Ah, awesome. Okay, yeah, I didn't really know that, but definitely sounds very cool. And yeah, so now going to wait for the best of 5, I think. Meanwhile, I don't know how that really works, but does the entire Age of Empires Online community know like the partnership with ESOC, how that is going?
We made a lot of posts, announcement posts in the Age of Empires Online Discord, so basically everybody who's reading knows it.
Okay, so that's fine then, because you didn't really have a forum before, right? But how did you then get in touch with the community? Was it only Discord or?
Basically, before we had this 1 second, let me just reply to Give You Anxiety real quick, please. because we're looking for Zertan right now. Give You Anxiety is ready, but we can't find Zertan for the moment. So basically, before we had this actual game, you know, the online version like it used to be in the past, like we have it now, Project Celeste, there was another project called Project Penelope, which was also a version of Age of Empires Online, but it wasn't online, it was only offline. So you could basically just play quests and stuff like that. And for that, we had a homepage called Age of Empires Online. No, it was AoEO forever.net. We gathered a pretty big community over there. I think we had over 3,000 members actually.
Cool.
But yes, it was very huge actually. But then Project Celeste came up, and no offense to Project Penelope, I mean these guys obviously did a great job as well. But since Celeste is online, it is kind of superior to Penelope. And then we created the Discord and tried to gather the community there now.
Ah, I see. All right. And now I'm already seeing, if I'm looking at the forums, a huge influx of people joining the forums these past 2-3 days. So definitely seems to be a lot of new people from Age of Empires Online here registering on our forums.
That is absolutely amazing. I'm very hyped for this. I hope we can kind of you know, do something about the bad reputation that Age of Empires Online had back in the day. I can understand it, because the first impression counts. When the game was released, it was pretty bad, I have to admit this. So many players left and they never looked back, so they never gave the game a second chance. But I hope this time we can basically get over this misconceptions and this bad reputation, and you know, show people that in the later stages, Age of Empires Online was actually an amazing game. It was an amazing RTS. It was so fun to play. So I'm going to try the best to gather as many people from as many RTS games, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 3, and other games as possible, to get a very alive community going and have fun with the game for as long as we can, right?
Yeah, exactly. I even hope we can do something with Age of Empires Definitive Edition later on in the year. But
yes, absolutely. Oh, right. PF2K whispering me in the chat that you should increase the game sound a little bit. The chat has been asking for that all the time and we didn't see it. That's too bad.
Yeah, I did it now, but yeah, to be honest, I don't really find the game sounds too important. Because you know what you can hear anyways, and like the casters are what tell you new things. But I did increase it, so...
That's good. The people, we just have to do what the people want.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a democracy over here. So we're gonna have I think the next best of 5, and this is gonna be very exciting. We're gonna have Give You Anxiety against Zertan, 2 very good players. Like they are absolute top tier players, and Give You Anxiety, the brother of Soldier, I think he's actually not quite as rusty as Soldier, so it might be a much better game than we saw before. And additionally to that, these guys are going to play different civs, so you're not only going to see Greek versus Greek, Greek versus Greek. It looks like right now we're going to see an Egyptian against Persian game, so that is going to be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like both of them are ready. I think. Oh, give me a few minutes, he says. Okay, so if they're ready, I will see an invite.
Looks like these guys
again.
are ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Just waiting for the invite.
Are you ready?
I did turn up the game volume, so...
Okay, Give You Anxiety says he needs a couple of minutes, so he asked me to just talk about the matchup a little bit, talk about how Egyptians play, talk about how Persians play.
Alright.
I can do that. I can do that if you guys want to hear that, actually. If you want to hear me rambling about the civs, I can do that. It's no problem.
If we have a few minutes, I will turn on the overlay, just for... no, wait. The other overlay. Yeah, go ahead.
So basically how it is in Age of Empires Online is, I told you before that there are 6 civilizations. The cool thing about Age of Empires Online is, I mean, yeah, it doesn't have as many civilizations as, for example, Age of Empires 2 And I think Age of Empires 3, I'm sorry, I'm not an Age of Empires 3 guy, so I don't know much about the game. I think Age 3 has quite a lot of civilizations, right?
Yeah, for sure. 14.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Not
Age
as
of
much
Empires
as
Online
Age of
only,
Empires 2 though, but
yeah, it does has 14. Age of Empires Online has only 6 civilizations. The thing though is that these 6 civilizations are absolutely vastly different from each other. Like they're so unique, they differ hugely in units, in techs, in mechanics, how they are played. So every civilization has an absolutely different feeling from each other. The only exception is the Greeks and the Persians, which are still very different from each other. They have completely different units and completely different techs and looks, but they kind of play the same because they are kind of this basic Age of Empires gameplay. They have the infantry units and the bowmen and the cavalry units. So they're kind of similar played in that regard. So you're going to see the Persians right now. They're going to be very similar to what you saw by the Greeks. They are a little bit more focused on raiding because they have a much stronger cavalry unit in H2, the so-called Asabara. It's a very beefy cav unit. The Egyptians, on the other hand, are much different. I don't know if you play Age of Mythology, but there's much similarities between the two Egyptian factions from these games. You can empower your stuff with the priestess. So you can, for example, empower buildings to get faster train time. You can empower drop-offs to get more resource income. Or you can actually heal your units with the priestess. And then Egypt has very, very weak barracks units. They're very cheap, they train very fast, but they're very weak. So what Egypt wants to do is basically try to tech up as fast as possible without dying to get access to the strong units like elephants and chariot archers and other stuff like that. Basically, Egypt's mid-game, late-game composition is very, very strong. You're gonna see it in this game. Looks like these guys are ready.
yeah.
So we are gonna hop into the game. These guys are gonna play on the same map again as we just saw, and after that we're gonna see a different map because after that it's loser's choice. It's a best of 5,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I do now have an overlay
we-
for the show match, so I don't have the text boxes
Oh, that's amazing.
filled in yet though. So
Nice. I think PF2K made that, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Nice, very nice.
But I need to fill in the text boxes first, so it doesn't really show anything yet. It's just
All right.
an image.
Tell me
but-
when you're ready.
But I don't wanna keep the players waiting or anything. Okay, so let's edit this scene. I didn't actually know we had an
I'll be
overlay
right
for
back in
this.
30 seconds, all right?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back in 30 seconds. All right, I'm back.
Alright, awesome.
So everybody ready?
Yeah, I do now have the scores. I don't have the top box filled in yet. I don't know if that's what you put there usually, but at least should be ready to go into this game.
Yeah, I'm ready. Just tell me when to start and I click the button.
Alright. You can click the button if you want.
All right, guys, here we go. Zertan against Give You Anxiety. Egyptians against Persians on equal footing. Let's get hyped.
So what makes this map so special that it's always going to be the first map? Like, is it
Because
a
it's the
mirrored map or something?
Maps in Age of Empires Online are never mirrored. Resources spawn differently. It's most, like 99% of the time, it's very balanced, but they don't spawn in the exact same position. The reason why this map is mostly played as the first map is just because it's very balanced. It is a very standard map, you know. It's not too small, it's not too big, it has a very decent amount of resources. It's very straightforward, you know, you always spawn in the opposite direction, and it's a very fair and good map to start a best of series.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so it's just a very standard map.
Yeah, it doesn't have any gimmicks, it doesn't have water, it doesn't have cliffs or something. As you can
Yeah.
see, it's just a normal map, you know. You have some trees and some resources. It's a very good map to play on, I would say.
Does it favor any strategies more than other, or is it like everything goes kind of map?
Yes, it actually does. On the one hand, it favors aggressive play a little bit more than other maps, because as you can see, the rush distance is very small compared to other maps. And secondly, it favors harass play, because as you can see, it is quite open. So your TC is not facing a wall or something. You can actually come in from the side and run behind your base, raid the gold mine, as you can see on top, or raid the hunt or the berries or whatever. So you can come in from every side and put pressure on your opponent.
Ah, okay, I see. So we might see some aggressive strategies here, unlike last game, where going up as quickly as possible to build more town centers and villagers was most of the priority.
I think we would see this in this game as well, especially from Zertan. I don't know if Anxiety is going to do it because he likes his aggressive play, but I'm pretty sure that Zertan, yeah, he's already rallying a villager to stone, so he is going for that second TC as well, like the Mista did last game.
Yeah, exactly. So going to be more on the economic play after all, but maybe Give You Anxiety can do a better job than his brother here in killing off that economic boom.
Yeah, and I think he will, because he is not yet gathering stone, so I think he will open with units, probably with the Asabara, the cavalry unit, because it's such a strong raiding unit. It has so high HP, it can fight under town center fire forever, and it kills villagers really fast. Now, if you look at the town center of the Egyptians, you can actually see the priestess. Right now, Zertan is choosing to empower the town center to get faster villager train time, which is kind of the standard play that most of people do. Some players like the Mista opt to not do that, but instead empower a storehouse to get more resources. It kind of depends on what the player wants to do, but basically what you want to do is empower your town center so you can get those villages out a little bit faster than your opponent.
It doesn't look like he's ahead in villagers right now, though, but
yeah, that is true. I actually said something wrong. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. It's been such a long time. Actually, even if you empower the town center with the priestess, the villagers still train 1 second slower than the villagers of the other civilizations. And the reason for that is that Egyptians are one of the 2 civilizations that can keep making villages while they're aging up, because they don't have to click a button to age up. They build a building. You can see it on the right side, the Temple of Ra.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so it's like the Asian civilizations in Age of Empires 3. They do exactly the same. They don't spend their town center. They just build a wonder, it's called there. So.
All right.
Yeah, definitely interesting mechanic, and that explains why they train villagers a little bit slower. On the other hand, they do.
Yeah, the same goes for the other ages. Like for H3, it's the Temple of Set. And for H4, it's the Temple of Task, so it's the same. Zertan now building his town center on the right side, securing a gold mine and a hunt. While Anxiety, what is he doing? I don't even know. He doesn't have a town center, he doesn't have stone, he doesn't have military production. What is he doing?
Yeah, don't see any building from him up yet, and he's been in the second age for a while now, so he should have something in mind, but...
Yeah, that is very weird by Anxiety here. Maybe he's trying something cheeky, going to H3 right away, because he knows that Zertan is going to play very greedy and build that second TC. So maybe he's like, okay, I'm just going to go straight to H3 because you're not going to have any units to attack me anyways. So I'm aging up, and actually no, he's not doing that. He's building a barracks right now.
Building
That's
a barracks.
very interesting.
He's got a lot of villagers on gold, so he should be able to age up pretty soon, but I don't know if he's going to do that, because he's now building his barracks.
It's a very interesting play by Anxiety. I've never seen this before, and I'm very surprised by this, because Anxiety, I mean, he's a very good player, so I think he is actually going to H3. Yeah, there we go. He's doing it. The question that I have right now is, why is he building a barracks?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and if he just waited a little bit before he built his first military building, he could also have aged up a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
He had all the food and wood for it. He just needed a little bit of gold, and now he really delayed
the advantage that Persians get, like the most significant advantage, besides being able to build another town center. By the way, guys, this is another mechanic of Age of Empires Online. You get one town center per age. So at every age, you can build one additional town center. But yeah, what I wanted to say is the main advantage that Persians get from going to H3 is that they can build the mounted archer from the stables. A fast cavalry unit that has a ranged attack and is very good against other cavalry, but also very good at killing villagers. So I'm very surprised that he goes to fast H3, but builds a barracks instead of a stable.
Yeah, and looks like Give You Anxiety is sending some villagers forward. I don't know if I can flare you on the map or if you don't see it, but building a siege workshop very forward, going to do a flank on Zertin here.
He is so cheeky. Now I understand what he is doing. He built the barracks so he can make spearmen to defend the siege workshop from the camels of Zertin.
Yeah, definitely. So going to be making a combination of siege weapons with some anti-cavalry to back it up, and going to be very interesting. Let's see what Zertin is going to do against it. He doesn't have any defensive measures in place yet.
Yeah,
so
like Zertin absolutely has to scout this, because if he doesn't scout this and there is like 3 or 4 rams coming to his base, he does not have an answer to that. He does not have an answer. Rams are so strong against buildings. He can just completely destroy Zertin's infrastructure with that. So I'm excited to see what's going on here. Anxiety in the best of five, pulling out the cheese right away. Unbelievable.
yeah, the first battering ram is now out. Stable is going to be almost up, and looks like Zertin. Oh wait, he is going in with some X-Men now. So he might scout out his base fairly soon. So let's see how Give You Anxiety is going to react to this.
Oh, he sees the villagers now, so he knows something is up. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
The spearman
Oh,
got
God.
away, but the base is gonna get scouted out here, and Zertin is going to make a counterplay, of course.
And the
Battering
question
rams.
is, what is he gonna do against this? Basically, the only thing he can do is just crank out as many units as he possibly can.
But look at the battering rams going forward very quickly, and
Oh yeah, he is actually going for the GC, and I think he's going to
Huge.
get it.
yeah, huge bonus against buildings, of course, 180, and with 3 of them, this town center will quickly go down.
I have never seen this before. In the 3 years that I played Age of Empires Online, I have never seen this build. Anxiety, always ready for a surprise. The guy is just crazy.
And it worked out for him so far, but Zertin does have now an army of some camels and X-Men going in, and
Yeah.
only the battering rams are of course not going to defend that.
Yeah. Oh, Zertin is so out of position. What is he doing? I think he tried to snipe the forward base and kill the buildings, but he needs to defend his own base.
Yeah, he can't really go in now, because then all his buildings will go down quickly to all these battering rams, so he really needs to defend here. He is taking one battering ram out, well, it was moving forward, but losing so many buildings, so much HP.
Yeah. I mean, Zertin is very lucky that he decided to not go fast H3 like the Mista and instead make many production facilities. So even though he's losing quite some right now, he can still make units because he has 3 barracks on the left side. But he is so supply blocked. He is at 64 or 50. He can't make anything.
Yeah, he can't make any units, and
He's
well-
even fighting with the villagers against the Rams.
he will defeat
What
this
is
army, but
What am
at
I
what
watching?
cost?
Look at the supply block. He's at 56 from 35. He is so capped.
Yeah,
The
but
thing
now
though
all
is-
the rams are down, and he's a huge amount of villagers ahead. It's right now
Yeah, that's
37
true. That is
against
true. That is true.
25.
That is true. I think Anxiety does not have anything left. Actually, he's gonna lose his forward base. Gonna lose the siege workshops. Gonna lose the stable, and then everything he has left in his base is a barracks, and the barracks can only produce like Sparabara and Spearmen, and these units are not good against what Zertin has at all.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much left indeed, and the forward base now quickly going down. So let's see how Give You Anxiety, does he even have a follow-up plan? Or was this his play, and if it didn't work, it's over? Let's see what he has in mind.
I think he was completely all in. I don't think he's scrambling. I can imagine him sitting in front of his computer right now and being like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah, he has no plan right next, and Zertin quickly building his second town center back up again in a little bit more safe spot, so he's probably still scared of some kind of flank.
He's like, I'm not gonna fall for that twice.
Leaving the stable alive, but now Zertin going back and going to take it down. Let's see what Anxiety is doing. Meanwhile, building another town center, but a little bit too late. It's now 41 villagers against 28. And certainly
there's a big disadvantage.
He's just way ahead in villager and military population. I mean, his infrastructure totally
he's doubling the supply.
Yeah, it got torn down, but with the huge amount of villagers he had, he can quickly gather all the wood and resources he needs to build up again.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I meant. Like, what is he going to do against this attack? These Axemen are a hard counter to infantry, and all he has is spearmen. So how is he going to defend that?
Yeah, I don't think
he has
can
A10,
actually.
which is a A10, which is a nice tech that Persians have. If you research that, then you get a small healing by storehouses. As you can see, some of his units are getting the green pluses above their heads. So when you're standing next to a storehouse, you get a small healing, which is very nice. But I don't think it's gonna be enough, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Blue's army is just way big, and look at the follow-up. What is coming behind him? Another 15 units.
Oh, it's so many units. Yeah, Zertin actually has a couple of slingers as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't need them because Anxiety doesn't have any bowmen. But I think Zertin didn't do that, so he was just, okay, I'm just gonna make a couple of slingers so I'm safe against any amount of bowmen that you have.
And now barracks going to be torn down very quickly, and any units that pop out just get wrecked immediately by this huge army. And the follow-up of Zertin is just huge. The units keep on pumping out of his base, and meanwhile he's a lot of villagers ahead, so he should be totally
Zertin doesn't
fine
even
here.
care about taking up any longer. He's just like, okay, guy, I'm just gonna kill you right now. I have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 production facilities against the 1 of Anxiety. So he can just make so much more military.
Yeah, and I think very quickly this will steamroll into a victory for Zertin here, just because he's way ahead in villager count and in military count, and he can just turn that into a very big advantage.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like Anxiety is going to try to use his age advantage to get up a 3rd town center and build what we back in the day called the Triangle of Death, where you just build 3 town centers in a triangle and then try to survive by just having the massive DPS of 3 town centers raining down on your opponent. But even that, I don't think is going to save him at this point.
Yeah, and looks like Zertin is also aging up, building his temple here very quickly, and in H3 he's definitely going to be able to get out very powerful units to take him out.
Yeah, I agree. Zertin not doing that of a great job with his macro, like he's floating so much wood, doesn't have much food. So I don't know. I don't think Anxiety can win this game, but maybe he can surprise us. He's doing a good job staying alive. Zertin right now only raiding his woodline where not even any villagers. So yeah, whatever, kill the storehouses. I don't care. I have a woodline on the other side as well. He has H3. Okay, Zertin actually now is in H3 as well, and he's getting the champion upgrade for the Axemen, which is a very powerful upgrade. It gives Axemen, as you can see,
What's
where is it?
happening with these villagers forward, by the way? Give Anxiety had villagers like halfway across the map.
Maybe a bad rally point? I don't know.
Yeah, probably. There were like 7 villagers going forward for him, and
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. Unless he wanted to build another proxy siege workshop. You never know with this guy, you never know. But as I was saying, the champion Axeman upgrade is so strong. It gives you Axeman plus 25% HP, plus 15% damage, and
Oh.
area damage. Slash
Huge.
damage on top of that. That is absolutely huge.
Yeah, getting caught out of position by the cavalry of Give You Anxiety here, and all his slingers died. They didn't kill a single unit. I just
Oh, that's
wanted
nice.
to just wanted to ask, like, should he upgrade his slingers to champion, because he's got so many of them, but they all got wrecked by these few Asabaras from Give You Anxiety. So
Yeah. I
definitely
don't
a
even know
nice
what the
catch.
slinger champion. Don't even. Yeah, absolutely nice catch by Anxiety. Like, he needs these little victories so he can come back into this game. I don't even know, like, what does the slinger upgrade do again? I
Line of
forgot. Oh
sight
yeah.
and training time, and the pierce armor increased. And
Yeah, that's very nice.
but of course, against only the Asabaras, that's not really going to be very effective. No
Yeah,
archers
absolutely
from Give
not,
You
yeah.
Anxiety yet.
Zertan's army actually has a very scary lack of anti-cavalry. He doesn't have any spearmen. All he has is these 4 camels right here. So I don't know if Anxiety manages to get more cav units out and gets a huge surround around that army that really is not good against cavalry units. Anxiety has a chance. He has a fighting chance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's done a great job with his Asabara so far, getting a lot of units out of position. But let's take a look at the village population. 69 for Give You Anxiety, 81 for Zertan. So it's still around the 12 villagers. Zertan was ahead from the start of the game. Not much has changed there.
So let's see, what is Anxiety doing? What is his plan? Is he building... Alright, it looks like he's building the mounted archer that I was talking about at the start of the game. Very strong unit, and basically the best choice if he wants to come back in this game. He needs to get some huge raids in to make up for his big disadvantage that he has in supply and also in tech, because as you can see, Anxiety does not have an armory yet, while Zertan is researching his... what is it? His first? Second...
And look at
he's researching his first upgrade right now.
Now the flank is coming from Zertan, turning this game around, building a fortress on the west side of Give You Anxiety's base, very close to him, and meanwhile distracting Give You Anxiety with his army. And once this fortress goes up, there's no way Give You Anxiety can take that gold or stone that's near it. So definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a very smart placement for the fortress. Not only can he deny Anxiety a gold and a stone, but look at this. He's also shooting at the villagers at the woodlands. So Anxiety has to relocate all these villagers over there. Also, Egyptians. Yeah, you talk.
I was trying out the flare option. Looks like I have to left click after pressing flare. I'm doing that, but you're not seeing any flares, right?
No, I'm not seeing anything.
Maybe
no.
because you're not officially my ally. I don't know how this observing mode works.
Yeah, that might be the case. I don't actually remember.
Yeah.
But as you can see, like, the fortress also is the building where the Egyptians built basically the strongest unit that they have, the elephant.
Yeah.
Absolutely massively powerful unit with huge HP and one of the biggest area damages in the game.
But nothing in Q yet. He's popped at the moment. He's got quite a lot of resources for it. He's got a huge amount of gold in his bank, but
yeah, I think this is actually a very good engagement for Give You Anxiety. He actually managed to be even in population with Zertan right now. It's an amazing job he's doing. I mean, the 2 town centers firing are absolutely helping out right here, but still, he's absolutely demolishing the army of Zertan.
It. Very nice job. The fortress actually harassing some villagers of Give You Anxiety. Luckily, they're right next to the storehouses, so they get healed up very quickly.
Yeah.
But Give You Anxiety doing a great job here with his mounted archers. Of course, still near the storehouses, so his ranged units really in a good position to get HP and not get damaged too much. So.
Yeah, Zertan multitasking really well, doing a harass on the backline as well at the same time, but Anxiety is all over it already and killing the units of Zertan. And these chariot archers, they are very expensive, so it's not very good that Zertan is losing them. They are like 80 wood and 80 gold per unit, so that is pretty expensive.
Yeah, oh, here come the siege towers, trying to take down the town center.
And there's the first elephant. Look at the guy go. Look at him go.
That's such a huge unit also. I actually haven't seen one of these yet, but on the other hand, so many ranged cavalry focusing it down. basically.
Yeah, I think he might lose the town center. I'm not sure actually, but still, Anxiety is doing a great
It's
job.
probably going
at
down.
staying-
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, it's going down. That is absolutely huge
That's
because he's
huge.
losing access to 20 supply right now, and he has to rebuild it. And town centers aren't cheap at all.
Yeah, even more siege towers coming in from Zertan here, and let's see if Giving Society is still able to defend this so well. He's now a huge deal behind in population. He's gathering here on the other side of the map, on the right side, but
Look at this on the right side. Zertan and Anxiety actually mining from the same gold mine. It's very funny.
oh yeah, that's always funny. That happens in like every 8 game. Where you just don't care about the rates anymore. You just want to gather resources.
Absolutely, that's nice. I think we're gonna see a 1-0 for Zertan here. I think he's gonna
Yeah.
take the game.
For sure, he's yeah, there it is. Giving Society resigned. GG.
And now you can actually check the quest stats. Like, don't click right now, click left.
Yeah, I did. I click left. I did it. Alright. Oh, that's really cool that you can see the build orders. That is very interesting. Really gives you good insight in what their strategy is.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess you can just check it out a little bit and talk about it. You know, see some stats and tell the viewers about it.
Yeah, I don't really know. Okay, look, I'm taking a look at the graphics now. I think that's the most. Villagers trained. Yeah, so Zertan just kept that villager advantage for the whole game, and the score really reflects that. Don't know what is too interesting. Military trained. Current military population, that is always a very interesting one. As you can see here, Zertan losing so many units at this like around the 18-minute mark. Losing
Oh
so
yeah, I see it.
many.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge. That
That's
was a
huge.
fantastic engagement for Anxiety. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter because Zertan was ahead by 3 upgrades and economy as well, so he could just reinforce stronger units much faster.
Yeah, for sure. If you can see, Giving Society lost almost no units. Zertan lost like 40, but it still wasn't enough because they were still even in military population after that. So Zertan definitely deserved that victory there.
Alright, I'm gonna leave the map and I'm gonna prepare for the second game of this best of 5.
Yeah, I'm going to update the score here. So.
Somebody in the chat is saying, Age of Empires Online is back. Don't play with my feelings. Nobody's playing with your feelings, bro. The game is actually back. Be happy, be hyped. It is back.
Yeah, I really hope a lot of people who never played Age of Empires Online before today are going to be picking it up again because of this stream and the partnership between us.
Yeah. It's a very, very amazing thing for both of the communities. I hope we can be of advantage for each other and achieve great things, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so who was player 1 again? It was Zertan, right?
Yes, I think he was, yes.
Okay.
So, PF2K, if you're watching, if you're hearing me right now, please do me a favor. And if something, you know, important, interesting, whatever is happening in the chat, like somebody asking a question or something, then please whisper me in game so I can answer it. That would be nice of you, thanks, because I can't cast the game and read the chat at the same time. Don't have 2 screens.
Can you like not alt top very quickly?
Me?
Yeah, like quickly go into the game and then check the chat again?
Yes, of course I can do that. Sorry, my bad.
Well, I don't know. I now have a second screen right next to my monitor, so I can check it out a little bit. I wrote a few messages during streaming, but since I'm the cameraman, I can't like take a full minute to write something. So
Okay. So Zertan just left the party because he's changing civilizations. He's going Greek this time, so we're going to see a Persia against Greek. It's
okay.
interesting. It's always good to have as much variety as there can be, so the viewers can see as many perspectives of the game. There he's back. Very nice. We just ask what map these guys want. Okay, looks like they are going to play the second game on Mountain Crossing.
Okay, can you tell me anything about that map?
It's a very interesting map because they are basically cliffs in the middle of the map that are separating the players from each other, and they are kind of arranged so that they look like the letter X.
Okay.
Also, the map has some water on it, so maybe you're gonna see some fishing as well. So that's very cool. I'm just gonna start the game real quick. Where is the map? Mountain Crossing. Where is it? There we go. Certain anxiety. Everything is alright. Okay, here we go.
Oh, looks like I'm already getting invited. I just finished fixing the score, so I'm totally alright here. Let's see if the sound is any better. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this best of 5 between Zertan and Give You Anxiety, not on Age of Empires 3 this time, but Age of Empires Online, casting here with, let's see, Carnage is I think how you're called on Discord?
Yes. I used to be Trollurcules back in the day. It was kind of my name. Like I don't even know myself how I came up with that name. It was probably because I started playing Greeks, so it was like kind of Hercules, the god of the Greeks. And then I thought of myself, hey, I'm a big troll, so I made it Trollurcules instead. But nobody knew how to pronounce that name, so I changed to Carnage. Yeah, you see the map right now, so it's a very interesting map. You see this kind of X in the middle of the map of the cliffs.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see some fishing here. Zertan already building down a dock and fishing with his villagers right next to.
Yes. That's a very interesting feature of the map. Like each player has a little pond in the back of his base where you can fish safely. It's got a little bit of fish in it, so it's a very nice boost to your economy. But then there's also this neutral lake, which sometimes spawns in the bottom and sometimes it spawns on top. And this one you basically have to fight for. So it's always interesting to see which of the players tries to secure the second lake as well and get this big boost to his economy.
Yeah, okay, for sure, but it's still very on the bottom, so if you secure that, then you can like get cut off by the other player, I imagine, just because it's so far away from your base.
Absolutely. What most people like to do is, if they go for that pond, they just make it really quickly, and then before they start making fishing boats, they actually make a warship so they can basically defend this very well, because warships on the water, you can't do anything about them with land units, right?
Yeah, exactly. That is also the case in Age of Empires 2 and 3.
Yeah,
Just
very
warships.
nice. You can see there's so many similarities between those games. It's very cool to see.
Yeah, for sure, and makes it a lot easier to get into if you're experienced with one of the games, but not with all of them.
Yes.
So I don't see any fish in the ponds here, but I think they still need to be scouted or something.
Yeah, exactly. They are just not revealed yet. Like every resource on the map, they need to be scouted. Very interesting right now is that Zertan goes for the greedy build, and he made the dock right away, while Anxiety is going for 2 barracks and is going to put on pressure very fast, very hard. It looks like though that Zertan scouted it. Let me see it. Go to his vision. I don't know if you know, but you can go to the vision of one player.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he scouted the 2 barracks, so he knows what's coming. Now he needs to decide, okay, how do I defend this, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, his dock is quite safe, so his economy in that regard should be fine for now, but he's quickly setting up a barracks and a house because he, of course, needs units to defend against
Yeah,
this.
and I wouldn't even say that the dock is safe, because the dock is outside of the range of the town center, and there's so many
Yeah.
villagers. If Anxiety just goes around it, he can basically deny all these villagers mining. He won't be able to kill the dock because fishing boats can repair it. And fishing boats have also a little attack, but on the other hand, Sparabara, the units that Anxiety is making at the moment, have huge pierce armor. So the fishing boats are not going to touch them at all. And there we go, Anxiety going around with 2 Sparabara. And yeah, what is Certain going to do about that?
Yeah, he's now building his own spearmen in the barracks, but his villagers are already getting harassed here. And of course, with their 50% pierce armor, going to be not so easy to take down with just ranged infantry, ranged attacks. So
Yes, absolutely. This is just so much mining that Zertin is losing right now. It's a very big hit to his economy, as you can see, is reflected in the score bar. Zertin is already very much behind, and also behind by 8 pop this early in the game is pretty huge.
yeah, definitely. Another 2 Sparabara coming forward for Give You Anxiety here, and he's really doing a good job idling Certain.
Oh, yeah. Certain tried to build a storehouse to gather wood on the other side, but Anxiety scouted it right away with the scout, so he
Yeah.
can deny this again. Certain is really scrambling right now.
Yeah, storehouse quickly going down here, and there's not really any way for Certain to gather resources except like the berries very close to his town center. But
Yeah, the berries and maybe the couple of dead trees that are around his town center. What is he going to do? Because like, if Anxiety just keeps making these Sparabara, then the only way that Zertin can defend this, if he somehow manages to find a way to H2 and can build those anti-infantry units, the Hypospis or Hippospis, with only spearmen of 1 barracks against the Sparabara from 2 barracks, it's gonna be very hard to defend this.
yeah, for sure. He's now building another storehouse on the west, and it's not been scouted out yet, I think, but Give You Anxiety, of course, knows something is up, so he's quickly checking the map out, and there
absolutely.
it is.
And as you can see, like, how long and how easily these Sparabara can fight even under TC fire because of the huge pierce resist that they have. They don't
Yeah.
even take any damage.
I
Look
think
at this,
it's-
the town center firing at it.
Yeah, it's 50% pierce armor, so
Yeah,
that's
that
just
is huge.
But here come the spearmen, so looks like they might actually take down 2 of these Sparabara. Well, no, they get away.
Yeah, I think Zertin has stabilized for now. His spearman count is high enough so he can basically live. The question is, who is ahead right now? Zertin is at 23 villages, 24, Anxiety at 27.
Yeah.
Anxiety also has a dock right now, so between all this aggression that he put on, he also had the APM to make a dock and make fishing boats, so that's very nice. On the other hand, Zertin managed to find a way to go to H2. So Anxiety has to do this right now really quick as well, or he will be at a big disadvantage in like tech and units.
Yeah, but it looks like Give You Anxiety building a dock in the south on the Neo pond, so using all this
nice.
distraction to not go H up but build another dock, and after that he will surely, yeah, he's now trying to H up, but he had
Very
another
nice.
priority first, and I think this is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a very smart decision by him. Zertin needs to catch up in villagers, like he doesn't really have any units with which he can be aggressive, so why not take the time and, you know, get that eco boost by building the second dock. And he's just queuing up 4 fishing boats right away. He really wants that food income, man.
Yeah, so not going for a warship first, of course. Zertin is not really thinking about pushing out, especially not on the south near that pond, so he's not really in any danger yet.
Yes. PF2K just whispered me in the chat to once again mention to the people in the chat that Persia, the civilization that Anxiety is playing at the moment, at this point of time can only be played by people who supported the project. But worry not, in like, I don't know, maybe a couple of days, everybody will be able to play Persia as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. How fast the development goes. So
Yes, absolutely awesome. They're doing an amazing job. They're working day and night, even though they have real life jobs as well. So they really have the passion to bring this game back to life. It's really amazing. The next civilization that is going to be released will be the Celts. Uh, the Celts will then only be available to the supporters of the game,
Yeah.
while Persia, the previous one, becomes available to everyone. So this is kind of the pattern that they're going for.
Yeah, exactly, and really a nice initiative. Makes the servers able to stay up because of the donators, but still makes the game free to play for everyone else. So
Yes, absolutely. That's really, really amazing. So big props to the guys who made this possible. You guys are the best, for real.
yeah, like who do I have to congratulate if I want to thank them? Like which names?
It's basically a team of a couple of guys. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anyone here, so please don't hate me, but I think the most important ones are Rydek, Luciano, Kisonic, and Kevsov. These 4 guys are the ones that made most of the work, I believe, and made it possible. So big props to these 4 guys.
I like how flowers spawn when these units are killed.
Yeah, that's very cute. That's true.
So nice.
Like you can say about the graphics of the game whatever you want. I think it's amazing. It looks just so smooth and so fluid. You know, like it's its own little world, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's a bit other than other Age of Empires themes though, so I do understand what people find the problem with it. It's just much less realistic, but it could also be like,
I agree. It is. Yeah,
a
I
good
agree.
thing. I mean, it's all depends on what you like, of course. But
Yes.
it is
But it's
other
also
than-
something that you get used to. Like,
yeah,
it might seem weird to you at first, but once you play the game and you realize how great the gameplay is and how fun it is, you kind of grow to love the game, how it looks. It's just so cool and so sweet and so beautiful. I don't know.
it's very cutesy. Okay, so
I mean, just look at the boars. Just look at the boars. There's one next to the second town center that Zertin is building. Just look at it, how cute that little guy is. Zoom in with the mouse wheel and tell me this guy is not cute.
trying to find it. Oh yeah, that is cute. Well, the picture isn't at all, by the way. That's very scary. But in
Yeah,
real
that's
life.
true.
But it looks like Certain is pushing back here to give you anxiety. Even when he's below in population, he's got a lot of military units and he's pushing in here. Took down one of the barracks. And
Yeah,
now
that's
attacking
true. I
another
think
one.
the big supply lead that Anxiety has is mostly villagers because he is ahead by roughly 20 right now. So that is a huge advantage in economy that he has.
Yeah, for sure. And let's see what Give You Anxiety is going for here. He's got some bowman up, so looks like he's ready to push out again.
Yes, and this game he already has an armory up, so he kind of learned from his mistakes last game, where Certain had this big lead in armory upgrades. He's
Yeah.
getting a shield rim at the
Already
moment,
got
which
shield
gives
rim.
all of his units 20% pierce resist, so that is going to be very good against Greek, because most of Greek units, like Bowman and the Sarisophroi, do pierce damage.
Ah, okay, yeah. So very good by him. Let's see what is happening here. Zertin attacking in the north of the map, but meanwhile Give You Anxiety going for flank, going into the base here with his Asabaras, and definitely going to do some damage here against the bowman of Zertin.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Zertin has finished all his fish on his back pond. All the fishing boats are idle. I don't think there's any fish left, is there?
He's scouting it
searching
out
for it
right
right
now,
now.
but I don't
looking,
think there
but-
is.
So that means that Anxiety has this huge fish income because he secured the second pond, but Zertin is kind of missing out. Yeah, he's killing his fishing boats to free up the supply because the fishing boats are useless right now. So that's very smart by Zertin.
And Gives Anxiety now in the third age and in a very good position, I would say. Let's see, villager population for him is 20 ahead, and the military population is about the same, and he's doing a great job. Of course, his economy very good by the fishing boats, and another age up, so definitely in a good position here.
Yeah, absolutely. So many upgrades that he's getting. So very great play by Anxiety. Just look at how many upgrades he's getting at the same time. So he is
Yeah.
really playing with high APM at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you do need some high APM for these strategy games, and doing a lot of upgrades at the same time. That's of course a very
Yeah,
good.
but I think he's losing a lot of cavalry
Oh
units in
yeah,
the
getting caught out of position.
getting a big surround around these units, so he's gonna lose them all. So yeah, that's a nice catch for certain. Bringing him back in this game just a little bit, but still he's behind by roughly 20 supply.
Yeah, I don't really know why Gives Anxiety went in there, because I mean you have the cliff on one end and the tree line and the pond on the other, so it's very likely that you get caught out if you're scouted in time. So
Yeah,
let's see what is
absolutely.
happening here.
Oh, he's gonna lose another huge group of cavalry,
He's
maybe.
gonna get caught out of again, maybe. Well,
But I think he's getting away. Zertan just didn't react in time, and even like he doesn't have the means to chase and kill his units, because the cavalry units that Zertan has do pierce damage, so they are going to lose very bad to the cavalry units of Anxiety.
yeah, and losing a lot of units here by these Asabaras. Of course, Zertan coming back, but still with only infantry units, so he's so slow. Now finally coming back with his cavalry and try to catch him, but Gives Anxiety already on his way out.
Yeah, Anxiety is running circles around Zertan right now, and Anxiety just not stopping. He's again getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades at the same time, while Zertan, as far as I know, doesn't even have an armory up yet. He's building 2 right now to catch up, but he's also going to H3, which Anxiety already has. Yeah, it's looking really rough for Zertan right now.
Yeah, town center for Give You Anxiety in the south near his gold and stone and wood, and even sending some more villagers forward. Let's see what he's going to do with that. Probably going to the gold mine near the pond in the south. So very good map control for Give You Anxiety. Only thing Zertan is going for him in terms of map control is a watch post in the middle of the map, so he will see any units that are passing by. So I think he's done with getting raided. So on this map especially.
Yes, what do you want to say?
On this map especially, very strong place to build a watchtower, because it's like the one place all units have to go through, but quickly
absolutely, yeah, it's this big choke in the middle of the map, and it's a very nice mechanic of Age of Empires Online. I don't know if it's in other Age games as well. I think it's not, that you can actually build the watch post with the scout unit that you have right from the start. So that's very cool. If you pay attention to that scout and you don't lose it unnecessarily, you can just run around with the fast unit and build watch posts everywhere on the map.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing in Age of Empires 3 you have like your explorer who can build a town center, but not something very quickly.
Oh, right.
Yeah, not something you can build quickly with your scout, and not a watchtower.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anxiety going to H4 right now, and Zertan is doing the same at the same time, so very interesting.
Very similar times, so...
The thing is just that, oh my god, Anxiety is ahead by like almost 50 villagers. Holy cow!
Yeah, his eco is really huge. His score difference is actually very large here. He's 8,000 score
very
ahead.
Large.
So.
I think what Zertan is going for right now is, I think he knows that he is very behind in the game when it comes to, you know, tech and supply and economy especially. So maybe he's thinking, okay, I'm just gonna stay on low villager count, and I'm just gonna max out my army, like, and have this one huge attack with which I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like one big death ball. Of course, if you have more villagers, you can train as many military units. So he's not going for the villager pop or the economy here. He's just going for a ball of death. And
it's true.
Let's
Yeah,
see
and
make something happen.
Yeah, Zertan is actually building, or has built, 2 siege workshops already. So as the Mista did in the first game, he's going for the ballistae. So he's like, okay, I'm behind, but I still have this ace up my sleeve. I still have the ballistae. Let's see if I can make something happen with them.
Yeah, looks like he's got nothing in queue yet on the siege workshops, but certain only just H4, so now gathering the resources he needs. Of course, he's only on 61 population, gets 105 from Give You Anxiety, so absolutely amazing.
Oh, that is actually, I think Anxiety is kind of, you know, going a little bit overboard here. You don't need 105 villagers. You just don't need them. Like, he has so much food. I don't know, maybe kill some of the villagers that are gathering food at the moment, because you just don't need it. Your army will be so small compared to that of Zertan. It's very risky what he's doing right here. And Give You Anxiety is going for the equivalent to the Ballistae of the Persians. It's also a mobile siege unit, but it's very different because it doesn't do that crush damage, that crush splash damage. Instead, it's doing pierce splash damage. So it's very good against clumps of small units like bowmen or infantry units or whatever. And it looks very awesome. Just look at the thing go. Look at it go.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Certain got a few ballistas out now, and he's not popped. He is popped, but not on 200 pop yet. Give You Anxiety is on 200 pop, so his economy is of course way better. But if Certain maxes out his pop here, he will have a very huge army compared to Give You Anxiety, and he has got like one chance to roll that into a victory. But I think it's going to be very hard for him. So let's see what he does here.
Yeah, he's losing cavalry units again in the 8 o'clock position, while Anxiety is pushing in the middle, just straight up into his base with a big push. And oh, he's got a Palintonen out as well, which is basically the Age of Empires Online equivalent to the Trebuchet. Very long range siege unit that is very strong against buildings, but also does high damage to units.
Ah, I see it coming in here, so let's see if we can take down some buildings with it. And if you can take a look at Give You Anxiety supply, he's still got 7k food in store and almost 3k gold, so he's got a huge backup here. Well, Certain is struggling to get out enough units to actually get his population filled up.
Yeah, Certain needs to, he needs to split his army and get a huge surround around it, because I don't think he can just run in straight up, because all his units will clump. And then he will lose so much to the Palintonen and the War Wagon. Both of these do massive splash damage to his army, which is mostly consisting of bowmen.
Fortress now up for Give You Anxiety near Certain's base. Yeah, there it is.
He's just tapping out.
Yeah.
He's just tapping out. I think he realized that he's in a position where he can't win, so why stall the game? Just, okay, GG. Got me in this game, go to the next one.
Well played, Give You Anxiety. Okay, so I now click on the guy with my left click. Let's see at the score, of course. Yeah. Villager strained.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's just the villagers of Give You Anxiety. He's so far ahead. So I think that really says it all. Going to update the score here. It's now 1-1, so very interesting. Very exciting.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Alright. I was just talking about the difference in villagers both of them had.
Yeah, let me check that real quick. I believe it was absolutely massive, right?
Yeah.
Current villager population. Oh yeah, Anxiety was ahead by so many villagers. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he won the game mostly because he had so many more upgrades than Certain. I don't think the huge villager count really did something for him, because he had a massive bank anyway. So I believe like 50 villages would have been more than enough. He doesn't need 105. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, going back to my home city, and we're going to start the next game. Let's see what civilizations and what map these guys choose. Where's Anxiety? I have to invite him. Anxiety going Greek again, so now I think we're gonna have a Greek versus Greek again, like we had in the first game. What map?
I'm just seeing if there are any messages I have to read, but looks like nothing too important. So let's see, are there any questions here? Are there building radius restrictions near the town center?
Come again, sorry, I didn't hear that.
are there restrictions for building near the enemy town center, like in a radius around the town center?
No, you can build wherever you want at any stage of the game. So if you want to like BM your opponent, you can build watch posts around his TC. It's all possible.
Okay, yeah, very cool. Another thing, is it run by a company? No, it is not. It's all community run, so it's a few guys who own the servers and a huge community behind it who back it with donations and such. And now with partnered with ESOC, so they will probably going to move the community to our forums and our YouTube and our Twitch for some part. But still, the game is in the hands of a few developers who just host the servers on their who host the game on their servers. Let's see if there.
Alright, looks like one of these guys, I don't know who, I believe it's Certain, needs a 1-minute break, so maybe you can put the break screen on.
Okay, 1 minute break, sure. I will put on an overlay then. I don't know if I have like... yeah, I have an autumn overlay, winter overlay. Is it summer yet? I think we will do the summer overlay. Okay, so here we have the overlay, and pretty soon we will continue the best of 5, so don't worry about that.
Alright, so I think we're ready.
Oh, okay, I was just gonna add text, but then I won't bother with that.
Okay,
And,
don't bother, just let's go. Just ask.
I'm ready. It's now 1-1. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody who just tuned in and doesn't know what is going on, Age of Empires Online has been revived. It was shut down by Microsoft, but the community revived it, and now it is hosted on the community servers, and we're going to play some Age of Empires Online here. I'm casting here with Carnage, best of 5 between Zertin and Give You Anxiety, two very skilled Age of Empires Online players, so it's really a high level game. And this is actually one of the first games since PvP has been enabled, so since you can actually play against other players in this mode, basically.
Yeah, exactly. As a matter of fact, it has only been enabled like a couple of hours ago, so it's absolutely new. We're still kind of testing to see if there might be some bugs left or something, I don't know. But so far it's running very smooth, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very happy about it, and I love to see this game brought back to life. Okay, so let's see. What are the civilizations again?
Both of them playing Greek
yeah,
again
both
this
of them
game.
playing Greek. I was just saying. Okay, so it's going to be a mirror matchup again. Really like those.
This map has a very narrow choke in the middle of the map, so this map is kind of defensive, and it's a lot of times splash damage is game deciding, just because the choke in the middle is just so tiny that all your units are just going to clump in one big ball. You can't really split, you can't make a concave or whatever. So I'm excited to see how these guys decide to play this map.
Yeah, very interesting map indeed. So even a bigger, like a smaller choke and bigger cliffs than the last map we saw. So very interesting to see what they're gonna opt for here. Probably some more defensive and economic style than than last game, perhaps.
Yeah, Zertan absolutely going economic again. Once again going for that fast town center. And Anxiety, once again, is not doing that. So Anxiety just likes his aggression, man. He's just like all over the place. He just wants to make units. He wants to be in his opponent's face. He wants to put the pressure on. That's just his style of playing, I would say. And Zertan scouting that Anxiety is not on stone, so he knows what's up and he can prepare for that.
Yeah, and as you can see, indeed, Zertan gathering a lot of stone for second town center, so he has not learned that Give You Anxiety is going to be aggressive yet. So let's see if we can actually see if we will see a barracks like in the first age already, or maybe only going to be in the second age.
Interestingly enough, Anxiety now building a storehouse on the stone mine. I don't know if it's gonna be for stone or for the berries. We're gonna see what he's doing. It looks like the storehouse is for it's not for the berries.
Stone.
It is for stone. It is for stone. But once again, I think Anxiety just doesn't really have the build order down, because this is just like not a very good build order. The town center of Zertan is gonna be so much faster once again. Yeah, now he's relocating villagers from wood to stone because he realized, like, oh shit, man, this is actually not working. I have the wood, 300 to make a town center, but I don't have the stone yet. Zertan should be able to put down his town center any second. Yeah, right now he has the resources to put down the town center. So his build is just way more refined and way more optimized than Give You Anxieties.
Yeah, for sure. You can
Oh,
see
look at the placement of the town center of Zertan. He's just putting it right in the face of Anxiety to defend that choke and make it very hard for Anxiety to attack head-on into his base.
Yeah, so you can really see how Zertan has refined his build order and everything, all his actions for getting this second town center out very quickly. Well, Give You Anxiety is really behind in that regard. Only now starting it. Also in a little bit, yeah, it's near a lot of wood, but not protecting any other resource. So that is not a
Yeah, that is an interesting town center by Give You Anxiety. I'm wondering if he hasn't scouted. Yeah, it looks like he just doesn't have any better spot for the town center scouted. I don't see any berries scouted or whatever where you could put it on, because like most of the time it is very important that you build your second town center next to a food source, because you will need lots of food to make villages from 2 town centers and units as well. So if you don't build your second town center on a food source, you will have to rally from there to the food source, and that will just cost so much walking time for the villagers.
Yeah, and there is some food near the where were those deers? I'm trying to scout out the food source for Give You Anxiety.
You mean at 3 o'clock probably, right? In the little pocket. There's a hunt.
Let's see where it is.
Actually 4 o'clock.
Can't really find much food yet for him.
Yeah, I don't know if he just has a bad spawn, which I don't believe, because normally the spawns are pretty balanced, or he just doesn't have it scouted yet. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on there.
Ah, look.
He has a...
Now he scouted it out with on the left side of his base near the gold mine and stone mine.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
there's
think
another
that would
hunt.
have been a good town center placement too, just because
Yeah,
it
that's
secures
true.
so much
That's
resources.
true. That's absolutely true. I mean, it's kind of far away, so it's a little bit risky, because you will not have the second town center like somewhere in your base, so you have the double town center fire to defend. But still, I believe that would probably be a better spot for the town center. Also worth noting is that both of these players have a very safe second goldman right behind their base. So these guys are not going to run out of gold anytime soon.
Yeah, for sure. The resources are, just like how the map is made, very easy to defend. So really makes some of the strategies they're opting for a lot stronger than others. I mean, it's just so defensive map, and you can see that in their strategy, in their BO.
Yeah,
Just going for the
I'm just
second
hoping that
town
for the next game of the series, they're going to play a more aggressive map, or maybe even a water map, so we can see some water battles, which are very exciting in Age of Empires Online. They're absolutely amazing because it's constant action, because not only are ships not that expensive. I mean, they're not cheap by any means, but they're not like unaffordable. So you can actually make lots of warships. But the most interesting mechanic is that ships in Age of Empires Online are one of the very few units whose attacks you can dodge. So it becomes a very micro-intensive water battle where you have to micro every single individual ship and go left, right, and dodge the shots of the ships. So that is very exciting, and I'm hoping that we're going to see a game on Coastal, which is the main water map in Age of Empires Online.
Yeah, I see. I didn't really know that mechanic was in Age of Empires Online for ships only. In Age of Empires 2 you have it with some siege weapons, but in Age of Empires 3 dodging is just not fun. Yeah, not something you see anywhere really. So very APM intense mechanic is that.
Absolutely, yeah. Let me just think. I believe the only units in Age of Empires Online that you can dodge are, as far as I remember, ships and siege units.
Yeah,
like you
I
can
see.
dodge the Pelotonans or the trebuchets, they can dodge the ballistae, and you can dodge the ships. But units like bowmen or something, they hit 100% of the time.
Yeah, that makes sense, of course, because it's going to way too micro-intensive to actually dodge those hundreds of archers.
Nice raid going on by Zertan in the back of the base of Give You Anxiety, but he's all over it. He's got a couple of spearmen, and he's got a couple of Ceresophroi as well.
Yeah, looks like one of the cavalry of Zertan here being caught off guard, but not too big of a deal. Watchtower, watch post also for Zertan up, but yeah, maybe for like when a third town center comes out, but this is way out of Give You Anxiety's base, so.
Yeah, I don't know what this watch post is actually supposed to do, because
yeah, very interesting spot.
I mean, he can definitely see if Anxiety's going for that stone mine, but I don't know if that is so important. He can't even see the gold mine, or it would be interesting if he would have put it a little bit further onto Anxiety's side, so he can basically scout the corner of the map. Then he could see when Anxiety is deciding to go for a market line and make caravans. That would be very interesting to scout and very important. But he decided to make that watch post over there. He might have a reason, nobody will ever know. Whatever.
Yeah, I think a watch post either in the center or maybe next to the resources they're fighting right now would be very advantageous. And looks like we might have our first little, well, another little confrontation here, but of course against the spearman of Give You Anxiety, Zertan has to back out here. And
yeah, nice multi-prong by Zertan. He's luring the units of Anxiety away and coming in from the other side with another group of cavalry units and sniping the villagers on the stone mine. So he's doing some economic damage to Anxiety. Very nice.
Yeah, let's see. The villager population is now oh, it's still quite even. He's only 3 villagers behind, so it's not a very deciding factor just yet. Give You Anxiety already almost H3 though, and Zertan now only going up.
Yeah, and Anxiety, he killed the watch post, so poor watch post, we're never going to find out what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever know.
It got killed and hasn't done anything useful, so sad story indeed. Okay, so now in the Silver Age, and Zertan is only on 1/3 yet, so he's a little bit behind. On the other hand, he's still a few villagers up and some military units up. So
yeah, and that is actually a bigger deal than you would expect, because that means that Anxiety can get all the economy upgrades like half a minute faster than Zertan, and they have so many villages that this is going to add up very soon, because each of these upgrades gives roughly plus 15% gathering rate, so that is pretty huge.
Yeah, as you can see, Pool Saw, Placer Mines, Stone Saw, Irrigation and Handcart are being researched at the same time, as well as the Champion Spearmen for the 10 Spearmen that he has.
Yeah, that's a very nice upgrade. He has a lot of Spearmen, so why not get it? It's pretty cheap, only costs 200 gold, and it gives a 25 Pierce Armor and Snare to the Spearmen, so it's a very nice upgrade to get for only 200 gold.
Yeah, definitely. On the other hand, Zertan is quite ahead in military population. I had hoped he actually would use his military advantage a little bit more than he did, because idle military units are like dead military units, right? They're not doing anything useful for you. So
that is absolutely true. These guys probably still a little bit rusty. I mean, they haven't played PvP for 3 years, so
yeah.
I think that will have some toll on your gameplay. These guys are absolutely not playing at their best at the moment. But Anxiety has a very interesting composition. Like, he is just not going for any Toxotes, and that is very weird because everybody who played Age of Empires Online knows that Toxotes are the absolute backbone of the Greek army because they're one of the best bowmen in the game, and they just add so much DPS to your army. As you can see, Zertan already sitting on 18 bowmen. Yeah, that is huge. There will be so much extra DPS that he will have in a fight. So it's scary for Anxiety, who is only now starting to build Toxotes from 1 archery range, while Zertan is sitting on 3 archery ranges already. So yeah.
Gives Anxiety is going for barbed arrows, the technology. So looks like he will have plans for some bowmen later in the future. But
yeah, but you must not forget that all the cavalry units that he has also do pierce damage. So that upgrade affects them as well.
Oh, that is of course true. But is it also for cavalry units? Okay. Yeah, for all
because
military units.
It doesn't really matter what.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter what kind of unit it is. It only matters what kind of damage type they do.
Yeah, exactly. So looks like the watch post of Zertan on the left has been rebuilt, and now finally he'll do something useful. He will scout out the gold mine.
Hey, wow, it's actually useful right now. So he learned from his mistake. This time he built it in a better position, and he knows the gold mine now. And Anxiety, he realizes, okay, I need to defend this gold mine. I need it. And he's putting most of his army right there to defend. It's very interesting that Anxiety is gathering so much gold. He's got 2 gold mines completely saturated with so many villagers that he's floating 1,500 gold. But while I'm saying this, Zertan is actually floating even more. So yeah, these guys are so rough.
2.4k gold and 1.2k wood, so a huge amount in his bank. Let's see if he's going to spend it.
Yeah, he absolutely needs a market, so he can sell just a little bit of this gold so he can go to H4 right now. Anxiety the same, he just needs a little bit of stone to go to H4, and that is definitely what these guys are aiming for, because again, H4 for Greek is so important because you get the Ballistae and you get the Hippikon, 2 very powerful units.
Yeah, definitely, and looks like now Zertan is finally realizing he's got a military advantage, so he should push in a little bit, but not doing very significant damage and going back back into his base again. Probably gonna wait for the H4. Getting a siege workshop.
And there we go, Zertan is the first guy to go to H4, and that is very significant because especially in the Greek mirror, the first guy who gets to Ballistae has a huge advantage. So Zertan already preparing, building the 2 siege workshops, and he's going to H4. Anxiety doing the same now as well. So these guys are basically just mirroring their builds.
Yeah, exactly. Give Anxiety is now like 2 seconds ahead, and he's ahead in score. But in 3 military villager population.
Oh, that is very interesting. The reason why Anxiety is ahead in the research of the age upgrade is because he built an academy. You can see it in the very back of his base next to the town center. It's an academy that has lots of upgrades, and one of these upgrades grants Greek, I believe, 25% faster research on every upgrade. So even though he started the age up a little bit faster, he reached it sooner than slower. He reached it sooner than Zertan.
Yeah, you can see it. Zertan still has 1/3 to go, and sees how Give You Anxiety is now H4, and his first reaction is to push out, which is very interesting. Maybe he wants to engage in a fight before the first ballistas come out from Give You Anxiety. So
yeah, I think so too, but it's not going to work because once he reaches Anxiety's base, I believe the ballistae will be out because they're almost done, almost out, and that would just make. Once again, Anxiety just does not have any bowmen. That is so interesting.
He does have, he does have like 2 of them or something, but
2, he's got 2. It's like just,
I was checking it out. And it looks like Zertan realizes the first ballistas of Give You Anxiety are out. So.
Oh my God! Whoa. Did you see that shot of the ballista?
Yeah, huge volley.
He killed like 8 or 9 bowmen with that huge one volley. That is absolutely massive. And Zertan realizes it, and he stopped making bowmen. He's building now Gastraphides. Gastraphides are kind of crossbowmen who have massive range, so they are a little bit better against ballistae because they can sit in the back and not get hit by the ballistae.
I see. Okay, but maybe Give You Anxiety can get flanked here. I mean, there's still 2 ballistas underway, but his whole cavalry army is already inside. So let's see how Certain is going to defend this. A lot of his units going back behind
Look at the
ground.
ballista! Look at the ballista!
Whoa!
Oh, very smart by Anxiety,
Yeah.
just focusing down the siege units of his opponent.
Very good volley. Already 1 ballista of Certain is now down. On the other hand, Give You Anxiety's ballista are like right into each other, so already also get taken down at the same moment. But Give You
Yeah,
Anxiety,
and Anxiety is just ahead by like 30, 40 supply right now, so I don't know what Certain is doing. He's just not really making units.
yeah, Certain has got a lot of wood and food in his bank, but apparently not enough military production facilities to keep pumping out units, and really losing a lot of units here by Give You Anxiety, who's almost at 200 pop the whole time. Also building a forward base in the middle of the map, so this is going to be insane. Give You Anxiety definitely on a roll here.
Yeah, and Certain is building only ranged units, which is very interesting if you see the composition of Anxiety. He still has so many cavalry units left, he has siege units left, so why would you build those very squishy range units?
Yeah,
I don't
even
understand that decision by Certain. He's doing
battering
an
ram
okay
coming
job
out.
defending. Look at this, he caught up. It's now, well, just as I say that, Anxiety queued up some units and is ahead by 20 again. But still, Certain is doing an okay job defending. Now he's building a forward fortress right next to the town center of Certain to fortify this position, and I don't think that Certain can do anything about that, to be honest.
Yeah, that fortress is definitely going up here, and he still has got 2 ballistas to defend it against all the bowmen of Certain, and it's really going to be hard for Certain to break out of his base at this point with all the forward buildings.
I didn't even realize that. The problem for Certain right now is his production. He just made so many archery ranges. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He made 7 archery ranges. He needs
That's
more
insane.
stables to fight against this. He needs to,
Yeah, he's got
using
only
the town
2
center.
stables and now building a siege workshop again, but yeah, I don't know. Give You Anxiety already on 4 ballistas sitting now, and a lot of cavalry, even more ballistas coming out. Oh, there is the Palintonon. Let's see. I don't know what Certain can do at this point. Really, he's just losing so many units. Just keep making bowmen on the 7 archery ranges, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be enough. He's behind almost 100 supply.
Yeah.
I think he has to tap out of this game.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we will see a 2-1 here for Give You Anxiety pretty soon. He's so
I
much
think
ahead.
so too. I think Certain was doing very well in this game, and he was ahead for quite some time when it came to like composition and whatever. But
Yeah.
he made some mistakes, and now he has to pay for it, and he lost the game. And it's a
Yeah, GG, nice job Give You Anxiety. Looks like my quest stats are ready, so I'm going to check them out. I'm most interested in the score actually, because as you can see, Certain was ahead for quite some time, but until like the 13-minute mark. What happened at that point?
I think that was when Certain did this huge push out to catch Anxiety before the Ballistae are out, but he just didn't manage it.
Yeah, that was at the 16-minute mark.
Oh,
There
that was
he
16.
really
Okay,
lost.
then I don't know what happened at the 30-minute mark. I don't really know. I don't remember.
Yeah. Let's see at the villagers. Oh, he took over with villager population at that point, so that's why he went ahead and scored.
I see.
With the military
Certain picking
population,
coastals, so that is interesting. Certain picking coastals, so we are going to see the water battle that we all want to see. Very amazing.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Okay, Anxiety needs 1 minute to decide which civilization he's going to play.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that time to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some water as well, I think. I've been
Alright.
talking for now 2 hours and... no, wait, 1 hour and 40 minutes, so...
All right. Okay. Then see ya in 1 minute or so.
Yeah. back. I think you need to invite them into your party. Welcome back, by the way.
Alright, sorry guys, I'm back.
Welcome back.
See if these guys are ready. I need to invite them. Okay, both in the party, very nice. And we're gonna see Egyptian Mirror. That is interesting. We haven't seen this today yet.
Yeah, indeed.
Very cool matchup. It's very interesting because it's very aggressive because both of these civilizations, obviously, it's a mirror, have the camel units. So the matchup is very raid intensive, very harass intensive because the camels are one of the fastest units in the game and they do bonus damage against cavalry. So very strong unit.
I see another question here in the chat. Like, is there a limit of how many people can be in one party?
Yes, there is actually a limit. The limit is 5 people in the party. So you can have a 1v1 and have up to 3 observers, or you can play a 2v2 and have 1 observer.
Ah, I see. Okay, and is it like a hard-coded limit, or is it something that you can maybe fix on later in the development?
I actually don't know that. You have to ask the developers of the game, but I believe that even if it would be possible to increase that, it's not a good idea because the game is working peer-to-peer. So it's gonna be pretty laggy if there are so many people in the party, like 10 people or something, you know?
Yeah, for sure, but maybe if you want some kind of big 3 versus 3 fight or something, then it could be interesting. But
you can play 3v3 only in skirmish in this game, so you can play 3 people against 3 computers, I believe. But for player versus player, you can play 3 versus 3 in Age of Empires Online.
Okay, and the player versus player version, do you know like how the ranking works there? Like
yes, absolutely. If we have 1 minute, let me just ask the guys if they're okay. Let me just explain this 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
So what you do is click on, you can see on the minimap top right, the bottom left there's a small map. It says open quest map. Click on that.
Yeah.
And then you click on the bottom. There's 5 shields. Click on the second one from the left. It says travel to the Sparta region.
Yeah.
Click on that.
Okay,
and
going
go
there
there
now. Oh wait, going to remove the overlay just so everyone can see where I am now.
Yes. Good luck out there.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, now you see this big arena right in the middle of the sea. This is where you play ranked games. Click on it just for 1 second.
Okay.
Should open the menu.
Yeah.
And there you can decide. Basically, what you have to do is you have to play champion mode because, as I said at the beginning of the stream, champion mode is the mode where it's balanced and you don't have gear. You know, where everybody has the same.
Yeah.
Ranked is always played in champion mode. You can also play standard, which is with gear, but that is always unranked. So it's only for fun for those people who want to play with the gear, whatever, who want to show off the strong gear and strong stats. But basically, ranked is always champion mode. Then you can decide if you want to play ranked 1v1 or 2v2.
Oh yeah, here.
In the menu
okay.
below that, right? So you can either play with a random partner, you just click on 2v2 and then queue alone, or you start a party with a friend and then you can play fixed team 2v2 ranked games.
Yeah, I see.
And then on the right side, you have the leaderboards. Currently, it says unable to retrieve leaderboards because Sparta ranked games matchmaking is not yet in the game. For now, we can only play arena games, custom games, but they are working on it, and hopefully soon we're gonna have the leaderboard again and have ranked matchmaking, which will
Okay.
be awesome.
So for now, there's not really any way to determine someone's strength.
No, that is not possible at the moment, but I mean, the game is still young. People, the guys are working hard on it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
So we're gonna see all this stuff very soon, hopefully.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was very exciting back then that we had a 2v2 ladder as well, so you could, play with your mate and climb the ladder, climb the rank, and get a good elo going. That was very exciting, very fun.
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting.
All right, so I'm gonna start the game now. The guys are getting very anxious to play. Putting Zertan on the left, giving Anxiety Team 2. Checkbox champion mode, so we don't play with the silly gear. And the map is Coastal. Good luck, have fun, guys. Here we go.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream. If you just tuned in, this is Age of Empires Online, a revived Age of Empires game. And only tonight the PvP, so player versus player version, was launched, which means we can actually now play against other players around the world. And we're now actually casting two players, Zertan and Give You Anxiety, playing against each other. So
yeah,
very
and
first time.
Yeah. And the fact that PvP is now working in the game, that means that at the same time, co-op is also working. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, if you're not the competitive guy, you don't want to play tryhard in the PvP scene, you just want to play some campaign, you just want to do some quests or whatever, you can also play that with a friend of yours, which is a very exciting feature of Age of Empires Online, that you can play the campaign co-op.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something unique for Age of Empires Online in terms of the Age of Empires series. So very interesting feature indeed, and makes it a little bit more relaxed playing Age of Empires instead of the competitive scene that we see most of the time.
Yes, of course. So this is the map that I was talking about, Coastal, the main and biggest water map in the game. There's a couple of water maps that have water on them, but Coastal is the only one where fighting for the water is absolutely essential.
Yeah,
because the water takes up so much space on the map. So if you lose the water, not only will your opponent have this huge advantage in fishing, because there's like infinite fish in this huge thing. Like, look at this, they have basically not scouted anything yet, and still there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ponds visible.
Yeah,
there's so much fish in
only
this
on
map.
the shore alone.
Only on the shore. The advantage that your opponent gets to this economy by having water is just absolutely massive. But also, if you lose the water and you want to rally units to attack, they kind of always have to go around the lake in the middle and can be shot by your opponent's ships. So it's just, if you lose the water on this map, it's just almost impossible to come back.
Yeah, for sure. This is just a very big water map, and yeah, most of the resources are also right next to the water. As you can see, for example, here this gold and stone mine is just so close to the water, and there's not really that much on the edge of the map, so it's not like you can play around the lake. It's just, the fight is going to be about the lake, around the lake, and in the lake, and not anything else really.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. So as you can see, what is going on here? Zertan is actually building a dock
aging.
right now.
Yeah.
Anxiety aging as well, but he's not building a dock yet. But I believe he's going for a dock very soon, because he's going for gold. You will need gold for the triremes, the warships, which are reasonably expensive. I believe that costs 150 wood and 100 gold or something. I don't know. I can't remember actually, but they're fairly expensive, so you have to start mining that gold very fast.
And what do you think about age up advantage Zertan has here? Is it any significance that he can make some units quicker?
Yeah, of course.
Or
That's you. Absolutely. Very interesting that Zertan actually opts to go for a fishing boat first. This is so greedy.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
greedy by him. He could have just used the advantage that he had in the age up to make the trireme first, and then have like always the advantage in triremes. You know, always have one warship more than your opponent.
Yeah, exactly. But he's using it to get one fishing boat more than his opponent, which is very greedy. But maybe in the long term it can work out for him. But still, very interesting. He chose to do that.
Absolutely, it's very greedy, but it can work out. Now both of them are building the first warship, as you can see. Interestingly enough, Anxiety built a second priestess. I have not seen that before as well. The guy is just pulling out strategies out of his sleeve, one by one. Unbelievable.
Yeah, indeed.
So now we're gonna
exactly.
see now we're gonna see the water battle. First trireme is out for giving Anxiety, but he chooses to not be aggressive with it yet. I think he's trying to pool them so he can do a huge attack with like 2 or 3 of them. Zertan as well being kind of passive with the trireme. They don't really know how many triremes the opponent already has out, I believe.
Yeah, and
Being
exactly.
Very,
especially Zertan, who of course
Zertan
made
has
the
lost
extra
his
fishing
scout.
ship. Yeah, he lost his scout there. That is unfortunate to the trireme. So nice job.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like it's now 2-2 in the middle of the map here. But Gifting Side, he got the first shot, so Zertan going back here. And now maybe Zertan had wished he made another trireme instead of the fishing boat, because he's not really ahead in this.
Oh, he is making
Oh.
a trireme. That is a trireme.
Now he has one, but okay. So Gifting Side actually getting caught out of position here. One boat on one side and one boat on the other side, and this
Yeah,
trireme definitely going down here.
Anxiety building a second dock. Very interesting. He wants to get the double trireme production going. He does have the gold for it. Just needs a little bit more wood. Oh, he's gonna lose it. Look, the Anxiety just dodging. The trireme is so low in HP, but he's just dodging the shot. The micro boys. Oh, there we go.
And there it is,
Finally
going down. Maybe even losing a villager. Yeah, losing a villager to the lion and the triremes there. Okay, so Giving Anxiety on 21 against 22 of Zertan, so that's still okay. Let's see now a second dock also for Zertan coming out. He feels comfortable building a second one to make some more mess. And look at Giving Anxiety getting caught out of position again. I don't really know why he keeps his boats on the side and not near his docks, because
Yeah,
he knows
I
he's
think
behind.
I think he wants to hide them because he has the lower numbers right now, but it's not really working out. Zertan is just catching him, and you can't micro that, boy. You can't micro that.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Of course, trying to hide his boats, but the boats are moving quite quickly over this lake here, and there's not really any way you can very good hide from 5 of these triremes. So getting caught off.
He misses another one. He just
Yeah.
didn't move it at all. Anxiety not on top of his game right now, and Zertan now has the huge advantage in triremes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2. Anxiety trying to be sneaky, going around, checking if Zertan maybe made a fishing boat that he can snipe or something. Oh, he can actually snipe the villager. Very nice. There it goes.
Yeah, Zertan actually popped right now, so can build another trireme. He's got the resources for it, but he needs another house first. And Give You Anxiety scouting out the docks, but that means he's going to lose even more warships. I don't really know. Yeah, he's just wasting them at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point it would probably be the best strategy by Anxiety to kind of pretend like he is still fighting for the water. You know, like keep microing the ships and maybe make one more, while in fact he's giving up and just, you know, like trying to do something else, maybe age up or something. You know, just tricking Zertan into thinking that he's still fighting for the water and just keep making triremes. So Zertan is spending so much money on the water, which he doesn't really need to spend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So like that Zertan will overextend on the water, but on the other hand,
yes.
The boats are so strong on the water, you can't really overextend unless you have it filled with triremes. And there's not really anything happening in Giving Anxiety's base. No H-up yet, no flank barracks anywhere, no shenanigans. So
yeah, Zertan as well does not have a production facility up yet. And now he's doing it. He should have done that way earlier because he was floating like 500 wood, so he could have made like 2 stables. Slight oversight by him there. Now he's building a stables and he's building the second one. All right, he's doing exactly as I said.
Building 2 of them now. And Giving Anxiety still nothing. His base is just very quiet and empty. Of course, he's he's a few villagers behind. He's 4 villagers behind, so can't mass as fast. But at this point, I feel like he's just wasting resources by building triremes all the time.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. He's just not giving up. But I mean, it might even work out if he can micro well. Now he has 3, soon to be 4 against 6. That is possible. I mean, it's not impossible to win that. But well, he's losing them again and again
Yeah,
and again.
and Zertin keeps spamming triremes from 2 docks. Doing
Nope,
full
that is
production.
actually fishing boats. That is actually
Oh,
fishing boats
wait.
this time.
Yeah, I clicked on it, I saw the green loading bar, I thought he kept building, but he's actually going for fishing boats here. No, he knows he's got the water secured, so...
Yeah, now he's going triremes again, and Anxiety actually going for the 3rd dock, so he really does not want to give up on water, but yeah, I don't think it's going to work at this point in time. I mean, he still has 3 triremes,
Yeah.
trying to do whatever he can, but the 3rd dock, I don't think that is going to go up, because Zertin can just kill the villages with a trireme.
Well, I think it's going up here, but
Oh, it is going up.
maybe the village are still going down. The first camel riders of Zertin are out, 2 of them in front of his base, so he can even attack on the land at this point, maybe harass some villagers.
Yeah, he just needs to shift click them in the woodland of Anxiety, and there's absolutely nothing that Anxiety can do about it. If he would just send the 2 camels in the woodland right now, that would be game, because Anxiety has no means to defend that.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like he's saving them up. He's building another 2 camel riders, so maybe he wants to go in once he has some mass, but at this point he can't just go in. Gives you Anxiety got a nice water presence here at the moment, by the way. It's now 5 to 6, so there's actually a chance he can come back from this on the water.
Anxiety is just relentless. The guy is just not giving up. Doesn't know when it's time to give up the water. He just but now he's losing them again. And so many ships of Zertin are so low, but Anxiety, there we go, 2 going down, and now it's 5 against 4 actually, so wow, Anxiety.
Okay, so here are the camel riders right next to the base of Give You Anxiety in the northwest, and let's see if they can do some damage here for him, because that would actually be huge and really turn the game around, because Give You Anxiety has got the water secured almost. He's got the trireme advantage, only 2 left for Zertin, but he is focusing on land now and harassing a lot of villagers.
Yeah, that is so crazy. I would have never believed that Anxiety is able to actually come back and win the water. But yeah, what is he going to do about the camels in his base?
Yeah, there's so many villagers going down right now. They are fighting back, so the camels are getting damaged, but losing a lot of villagers, and of course just villager time.
What is Zertin deciding to do? Oh, Zertin actually found a way to snuck to H3, so Zertin has 2 options right now. He either decides to stay on land, you know, go to maybe elephants or chariot archers or one of those strong units, or what he could do is, and I think he is doing that because he's building a town center right on the shore right now. Maybe he's trying to sneak up 2 docks or something. Anxiety believing, oh, I got the water safe, nothing can happen to me, and Zertin then sneaks up 2 docks and builds H3 fire ships, and those H3 fire ships are absolutely going to destroy the H2 triremes of Anxiety. Yeah,
and meanwhile, going in with some camel riders and 2 chariot archers, going into the villagers again. They are getting away, but again losing so much villagers time.
Yeah, there's just nothing Anxiety can do. I mean, he's desperately putting up a stable now with many villagers, but it will still be 1 stable against 4 stables of Zertin, who already has many units out, so how is he ever going to catch up in land army?
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to do that. Even killing off the houses here of Give You Anxiety in the far north. And,
Anxiety actually scouted the town center with the 2 triremes, but the town center is actually pretty decent against ships, so... oh, the volley against the villagers.
Yeah, some villagers getting damage here right next to the town center, but he cannot attack the town center at this time with his ships only. And look here on the right side of Give You Anxiety's base, his gold mine is getting harassed by the chariot archers and the camels, and certainly it's just all in his base, in Give You Anxiety's base.
What is Zertin doing with the villagers? Look at this, and on the left side of the town center, he's walking with like 15-20 villagers. What is he doing?
I have no idea where he's going. There's nothing there except a lion.
I don't know. It's probably a misclick or something. I don't know what that is supposed to be. But yeah, he's just doing massive damage in the base of Anxiety, and oh my god, Anxiety is just behind in population by 50 or something.
Yeah,
Looking really rough, man.
villager population, it is now 27 against 49, so almost 2 times.
Yeah, I think Anxiety got a little bit of tunnel vision over there. He was so desperate to win the water that he completely forgot about land. He made 3 docks and just kept pumping his ships forever. He actually depleted his whole first gold mine, 3,000 of gold just to make ships. And he just completely forgot about the land and just got caught off guard by Zertan, who decided to make units faster and just kill him, I believe.
Yeah, and right now he can't even get any gold because he's getting harassed by Zertan so hard.
Yeah, I think that's checkmate. He just doesn't have the unit numbers to secure a second gold mine, I believe.
Yeah, now the storehouse
And without that gold
going
mine,
down.
yeah.
Zertan,
Trying to build a storehouse on the left side, but I think that is going to get caught very soon as well. And Zertan making the aggressive town center in the middle of the map.
that's where the villagers were going.
Interesting.
No forward fortress, but a town center in this case.
Big fight going on in the woodline of Anxiety. I can't really tell who's winning that. I believe Anxiety is doing okay with the
he's
camels
doing
against
okay.
the Cherry Archers, because Zertan is not doing a good job at kiting, just standing and fighting. But still, I mean, at this point in time, every engagement that is not going catastrophical for Zertan is a good engagement for Zertan, because he just has the check mark on the economy and whatever. 60 villages against 35. Yeah, that is just really, really bad for Give You Anxiety.
Yeah, he's of course pulling himself ahead a little bit with the fishing ships, but I don't know if it will be enough in time, especially since Zertan has got 3 town centers up against the 1 of Give You Anxiety, so I don't think he will actually pull ahead in economy anytime. And yeah, the military population is just way ahead for, well, not way ahead, but he's got the map control, so he should be fine.
Yeah, and you must not forget that Anxiety is still stuck in H2, so
Yeah,
he will not
exactly.
be able to build those Cherry Archers, and those Cherry Archers are just so strong. If you have a tank line of camels in front of them, they do so much DPS.
Okay, so good speed in the chat asking how is this game different from Age of Empires 2, and the first response was it's a lot faster, and that's indeed, I think, one of the most iconic things of Age of Empires Online, especially compared to Age of Empires 2. Age of Empires 2 is just,
that is true.
I think the average game is like 30 minutes there, well in Age of Empires Online you can be done in like 15 minutes if you want, or 10.
I would say the average game time in Age of Empires Online is between 10 minutes and 20 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it's also the speed in which the game actually picks up. Like, from what I've seen from Age of Empires 2, the first, I would say, like 5 to 7 minutes, there's basically no military going on at all. It's just like, you know, finding the hunts and luring the deer and all this kind of stuff. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and in Age of Empires Online, you basically make units from minute 1 if you want.
Yeah, in Age of Empires 2 you can make a barracks and make some a club rush, it's called, in the first age, but still then you can't win in the first age. You just make 3 of them, do a little bit of damage and then go age up, so there's no way you can actually do anything significant game changing. So.
Yeah, so I would say that the main differences are the speed and the game speed and the graphics, I would say, because otherwise, besides that, they are pretty similar, because in the core they are just Age of Empires games. You know, you have your storehouses, you have your villages, you have food, gold, stone, wood. Many units are similar, like the cavalry units and the bowmen, so they are both just Age of Empires units to the core, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And on this map especially, if you see like how the water is being fought, it's just immediately going for the dock and going for the warships and spamming out warships and hoping that you win the water fight, and that's going to be so game deciding. That is so different from Age of Empires 3, where the water is just much less significant, and even on a map like this, I would not go for the water if my civilization wasn't right for it. I would just go for a land flank somewhere. So very important differences there.
So I'm actually very impressed by giving Anxiety that he's still in this game. Like, he's way behind, but the guy's just a fighter. He's not giving up. He's trying his best to stay in the game, but his supply is just very, very low. And he's still in H2, so he's still sitting on only camels. It would be very good for him actually if he could find a way to go to H3.
He is going to H3
Oh,
right
he's
now.
building the temple right now. I see it. That's very nice because once in H3, he can get the Camel Rider champion, and that gives plus 100% bonus damage against ranged units and plus 25% pierce armor. So all of a sudden, these camel units becoming very strong against the chariot archers.
Yeah, indeed, but looks like he's not aging so quickly, so it will take another half a minute before he's aged. Certain going forward, trying to build a fortress, but a wall going up. Forgive your anxiety, look at this, it's just going through the wall, but yeah, of course, Give Anxiety is going there with his whole Camel Rider army, so I don't know how Certain thinks this is going up, because it's not, of course.
I think at this point in time he's just getting a little bit cocky. He thinks he can do whatever he wants because he's so ahead in this game, but yeah, that fortress is not going up.
Yeah,
and
those villagers all going down. That's actually huge.
Yeah, that is huge, and that was actually smart by Anxiety that he waited a little bit to kill the fortress. He could have probably waited a little bit longer, because how it works in Age of Empires Online is that if you lose a building that is being constructed, you lose the amount of resources proportional to the amount the building was finished.
Yeah,
so if the building is 99% finished and then it gets killed, you get only 1% of the resources back.
Yeah, that's I think the same in a lot of Age of Empires and strategy games. It makes a lot of sense.
Oh, is it? Interesting. I didn't know that because mostly besides Age of Empires Online, I only played StarCraft 2, and in StarCraft 2, if you lose a building, you lose everything.
Yeah, that is indeed true. I haven't played StarCraft too much. Okay, it looks like the fortress is going up here now. Huge battle against these chariot archers, but they are definitely going to wreck.
Anxiety got a huge surround, well, not surround, but he got really good surface area on the chariot archers, but it was just way too many. Like, even the camels couldn't really do anything about it there.
Yeah, for sure. So this fortress is going up, and still a lot of chariot archers left for certain here. And let's see how Give You Anxiety is going to react to this. He's still way behind in villager pop and in military pop, so I don't know if there's much he can do at this point.
Yeah, I don't see a way either for him to get out of this. I mean, he has 3 town centers, so he's safe for the moment, kind of, because these chariot archers, they don't do very well against the damage of the town centers. They don't have much armor or something, so they die pretty fast.
Yeah.
And they can't even kill buildings because they do pierce damage, and every building in Age of Empires Online has 0.8 pierce resist, so it's pretty huge. But yeah, Certain can just run around and deny Anxiety on mining, except the food on the water. So food, Anxiety will have forever, but everything else, not so much.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fishing ships. I'm counting something like 12 or something, so that's definitely a huge factor in this game. But still, Certain has got so much map control, and when this gold runs out, there's only now 40 gold left. Let's see where he's going to get a gold.
Yeah, what is he going to?
I have no idea where he's going to get a gold. The next gold mine.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tough because the next gold mine is on the right side. But Certain has a watch post there, so he will see it right away.
Yeah, or next to the fortress on the left side, but that's going to be impossible to
that
break.
too, but that is pretty much secured.
Look
by
at
the
this,
fortress.
storehouse coming up right now. Chariot archers are there also, and
very smart by Certain. He knew the exact timing when Anxiety will need that next gold, so he just decided, okay, just gonna put a couple of units there. I know your villagers are gonna come soon. I'm just gonna kill them right away. I'm not even gonna give you like 10 seconds of mining. Nothing.
yeah, that's actually amazing. Maybe it was just an accident, but maybe he really calculated around the time when the gold mine would run out. So definitely nice job by Certain there.
Yeah.
Villagers are not killed though. They're building the storehouse again. So he did not finish what he started. It's
It's
still
just a
there.
shame. Anxiety just doesn't know about the watch post. So he thought he could be sneaky, but nope, he
No,
can't.
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and at this point, 41 gold, Anxiety Where did he get gold from? Does he have a market and sold something? Oh yeah, he has a market. He must have sold some food or some wood.
Yeah,
But at this point, he must just realize that this is kind of checkmate, I believe.
yeah. I think we have a 2-2 here. I mean, it
Yeah,
is
we're
match-
gonna go to the ace match, the rubber match. So excited.
Let's see. Yeah, market up for both. Trying to
Oh,
find
there
what
comes
they
siege
there
towers
it
in.
is. There are the siege towers from
Yep,
certain.
siege
That-
towers on the left side, and yeah, what is Anxiety gonna do about that? He doesn't have many units, and those units that he has are on the other side of the map. So these siege towers are just gonna wreak havoc on his base. So
Yeah.
many buildings gonna go down, especially the houses. Look at this; they can just get one-shotted by these two ramps.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was waiting for, and there it is. Giving Anxiety resigned. Certain just needed something to seal the deal here, and he did it with the siege rams. GG to Certain. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a 2-2 on our hands. So both of them won 2 games so far. So we will have the final round coming up next in this best of 5 between Certain and Give You Anxiety.
All right, Anxiety says he needs a couple of minutes, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to go
understand.
get something to drink as well. Be right back.
Definitely. See you soon. So, while we are waiting for the next game, putting on some nice elevator music, as you are all used to by now, I hope. Well, maybe the Age of Empires online community is not yet, but elevator music is definitely something that belongs in a good stream of ESOC TV here. So, going to wait a few minutes and then we will be back with the next game.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Welcome back. I've put the overlay up and some nice elevator music, so we're just waiting until they come back.
All right, very nice. Very nice. Did they say anything about what the last map is going to be?
Let me check. No, I
No,
haven't
it
seen
doesn't,
anything
doesn't
yet.
look like it.
Just a few
Uh,
minutes.
Yep, Anxiety can choose the last map because it is a loser's choice.
How many maps are there, anyways?
There is, let me just count. There's obviously random, so you can choose random, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 maps, but not
Okay.
all of them are in the ranked map pool. So some of them are not in the ranked map pool, but can only play custom games.
Okay, because they're a little bit like gimmicky maps or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. But I
see.
believe since we have control over the game right now, we can actually change the ranked map pool maybe every month or so to make it more exciting, more interesting.
Okay, looks like Treasure Island is going to be the map.
Interesting.
What can you tell me about that map?
Treasure Island is a very good map, actually. It's my favorite map in the whole map pool. It is kind of like Equal Footing, the map that we saw as the
Yeah.
first map always, you know, the balanced map, the
Yeah.
very standard map. It's kind of like that. Besides, on the sideline, we have a little bit of water. So you can go for the water if you want to get that fishing income, but it's not game deciding as it is on coastal. So it's a very balanced map between land and water and everything. I like it.
Okay, cool. And is there any chance players can build their own maps and play them and upload them or something, or how does it go?
Don't quote me on that, okay? Because I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I heard that this will be possible in the future.
Okay, very cool, interesting. Yeah, we have a very dedicated map building community, like 4 or 5 guys building a lot of very balanced maps for our tournament. So I was hoping maybe in the future you could also play on your own custom maps, which are very balanced, and for the tournaments, of course.
I believe that might be possible. If PF2K is in the chat right now, maybe he can ask the developers because he has some good contact to them. Maybe ask them so we can get to know if that will be possible in the future.
Okay,
So Zerton says go. Anxiety says ready. We are going into the ace match. We are going into the rubber match, the deciding map between these two guys in the best of 5. Let's go.
Yeah,
Where's the
I'm
map
all set
here?
up, and I'm seeing in the chat that it is indeed going to be possible in the futures to make your own maps, and that's very cool indeed. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and welcome to this final game between Give You Anxiety. Let me just load up. Welcome back to this final game between Give You Anxiety and Zerton, and this is the best of 5. This is going to be the deciding game on the map Treasure Island. Here we can see the Treasure Island, and
Oh yeah, that's
casting
what I
here with
forgot to tell you
Carnage.
about the map. Another interesting fact besides the fact that it's land and water pretty balanced. There is also this treasure island, which the map is named after. What you can't see right now because it hasn't been scouted. On this little island, there is like 2 or 3 gold mines and 2 or 3 stone mines. So it's very
Oh,
rich.
huge. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hope they will scout it out pretty soon and we can actually see the treasures that are on that island. But we will have to wait for a boat to be built first.
What I remember from back then, Anxiety used to love being very greedy on this map and just go for the dock and build lots of fishing boats. And yep, oh no, that's not a villager, that's just a scout.
That's his
My bad.
scout.
I thought he was going over already and building
He
the dock.
is.
My bad.
He is
Oh,
now.
he is actually. All right, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. His first villager going to build a dock. And okay, cool.
One interesting thing is about the map, just because nothing really important is happening right now, so I can just talk about it. There have been a couple of very funny games in the past where one player basically lost the game. He had nothing left on the land, no units, whatever, but he had some villagers left and maybe he had some boats or whatever, so he sent those villagers in a transport ship over to the island and then built a wonder on the island. You know? And if you build a wonder and you can defend that wonder for, I believe, 10 minutes, you win the game.
Yeah.
So they basically built a wonder on the island and then just made tons of guard towers around the island and built ships and just tried to defend it. And it was so frustrating. It was so damn frustrating.
Oh, that is very cool. Yeah, I really like that mechanic actually, because it makes gives an incentive for the other player to actually attack you, whereas other games are just a little bit of stalemate sometimes. I mean,
Yeah,
depends
exactly.
on the level of players. But
Yeah, exactly. That is actually what the wonders were mostly used for. There were 2 uses for the wonder. One was when the game reached a stalemate, which mostly happens on maps like Arabia, who are really, really large and which you can defend pretty easily with walls. So people set up their economy, very self-sustaining, lots of farms, lots of caravans, and you have every upgrade in the game, and you have 20,000 resources in the bank, everybody in the game. So it's just not going to end. So basically, then the wonder came into play to end the game. Very cool. And the second use is if you're very ahead and you just want to troll your opponent, build a wonder in their base and tell them, yo, this is over. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, okay, very cool. But we haven't seen it any time yet in this best of 5, so maybe we will get to see it in this final game. Yeah, what do you think about why is Certain not going on the water yet? If there's, I see a lot of fish on the shore already, so isn't it an early advantage to go there a little bit sooner?
Yeah, I think he is going to just opt for the town center instead of the dock. Maybe he believes that the town center in the long run will give him like more value than a dock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
he has a very nice spot for the town center. Maybe he scouted that and thought to himself, okay, I got a gold mine, I got berries and a hunt next to each other. I'm just gonna go for the town center instead of the dock. You know?
Yeah. Let's see, Give You Anxiety now aging up as well, a little bit behind Certain, and yeah, putting down a town in a very powerful spot, surrounded by a stone mine, a gold mine, and a berry bush, and the deer in the back. So good spot. For him.
Interestingly enough, Anxiety is kind of countering that by going dock and town center. So this guy is just greedy to the absolute maximum.
Yeah,
Can't get
definitely.
greedier than a.
Let's see if Certain can scout it out in time, or maybe we'll have a problem later on in his economy.
Yeah, very interesting. Certain might also decide to, go for the dock a little bit later, kind of making Anxiety believe that he's not going for the dock and that he's safe on the water, and then build a secret dock right in the edge or something, and then build a couple of warships and surprise attack Anxiety on the water.
Yeah, let's see what he's gonna do here. I see Give You Anxiety scout keeps scouting out the shore on Certain side, because he's like, where's his dock?
Yep.
But now
And there is it. There it is.
finally coming
Certain
up.
is building it right now, and it looks like Anxiety is just gonna miss it. Unless
Yeah.
he's going back with the scout, he is just going to miss the dock. That is so unfortunate. Up, no, there he's coming back. He's gonna.
Yeah, he keeps
Oh,
coming
no,
back.
No, is he? Oh, yeah, he's going to see it. He is going to see it. Very nice. So
There
he can
it
build a
is.
trireme right away, and Certain got busted.
Let's see what his reaction is to this. Will he immediately build a trireme? He doesn't have the gold just yet, but
Yep.
yeah, there
you
it
go.
is, coming
Trireme.
up. And that's going to be a problem for Certain for sure.
Yeah, I think Certain should have seen the scout. So if I was Certain, I would just cancel the dock, because I think there's no point in building it.
Yeah, unless he gets some kind of boat out very sneaky and can do some shenanigans on the island.
Yeah,
maybe.
he's not building a boat. He's not even building a fishing boat. Maybe that was just a trick or something
Yeah.
to make Anxiety freak out and build like 5 ships on the water and overextend. Oh no, now he's building a ship. I'm talking crap. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Give You Anxiety is building a second dock even, so he's definitely doesn't want to give up what he has here on the water. Looks like some camel riders from Certain coming in into Give You Anxiety's base, so he might do some decent damage with that.
Yeah, he's at least gonna kick
One
him from the
field?
woodline, kill one
Yes.
villager. Yeah, who's getting one. That's very nice. He needs that because he's behind in villages right now by 2, actually.
Yeah.
So nice catching up by Certain. What is his next production facility going for? Barracks next.
Let's see where he's building them. Indeed, a barracks in front of his base.
Yeah,
And
the barracks of the Egyptians is actually a very interesting building, because Egyptians from the barracks can build hard counters to any unit in the game. Egyptians from the barracks can build the spearman, the axeman, and the slinger. The spearman being the hard counter to cavalry, the axeman being the hard counter to infantry, and the slinger being the hard counter to range. So just by one production facility you can counter everything in the game, so that's very interesting.
yeah, and especially since Give You Anxiety has no military units yet, or any military production facility. Oh wait, he does have a barracks, but only one spearman out so far. So in terms of military, Certain is ahead a little bit. As is a bit of the tradition in this best of 5, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he's
that is true.
Give You Anxiety extending hard on the water, another 2 triremes in queue, and there's already 1, 2, 3 on the water, so might be overextending a little bit here. So
Yeah,
Certain,
just a tiny little bit. I mean, he has the barracks, so he is safe against the camels right now by just, spreading out some spearmen all over his base. But those spearmen are just only defensive. Like they do not grant him any aggressive potential or any map control or whatever. Zertan can just run around with the camels and behind that decide whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And what is it what he's going to do? He is actually, oh nice, he's going to H3. So interesting, he has 2 barracks and he's going to H3. So he's probably aiming for that X-Men champion upgrade, which is so strong, as I mentioned like a couple of games ago.
But so is Certain. He's also going to the third age and is on the 3/4 the way there. So
Oh, I was talking about Certain.
oh, okay, yeah. But Gift Anxiety is going to the third age too. So both of them.
Yeah, that's true. And interestingly enough, Anxiety is going to H3 and putting down 2 stables. So it looks like he's going to make a unit that we haven't seen today yet, which is the Potromos. The Potromos is the H3 cavalry of the Greeks, and it is basically an anti-cavalry cavalry unit.
Ah, exactly. Yeah. Very good against these camel riders, of course. So.
Yeah, they are basically going to counter each other. Camels obviously also anti-cavalry, but since the Potromos are H3, they are a little bit stronger than the camels, so they are going to win one-on-one.
He's not building them yet, though. He's going for the Severus for...
That must be a misclick. There's absolutely no reason at all why he would build Cerisopher in this situation. That must be a mistake, I believe.
I have no idea, but let's see if he fixes it in time. See in the chat somebody asks, do you have a fine selection on your scroll view? No, I use spacebar. And if I hold spacebar, I can actually track a whole group of units at the same time, so it's pretty awesome. I think that's the way all H games work with the spacebar. Find your selection. So yeah, let's see what he's building at his stable. At the moment, nothing actually. Not popped, but doesn't have the resources. Looks like. Well, he does.
No, he does have the resources. He's just following up with 2 archery ranges.
I have no
idea. 2 archery ranges. One gets killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should definitely keep building.
Yeah. I really don't know why
Siege
he's building
workshop.
Cerisophroi. Maybe he is trying to do something like have the spearmen to be the counter to the camels, and then have the Cerisophroi come in for a flank to kill potential chariot archers, maybe?
Yeah, perhaps.
But I really don't know. Zertan now going for the forward siege workshop, kind of doing to Anxiety what Anxiety did to him in the first game. Proxy siege workshop in his face, and is going for the siege towers, I believe.
Yeah,
and,
indeed. He doesn't have the wood for it yet, so doesn't have a lot of villagers on wood either. So he should be chopping a little bit more, perhaps, to get them out a little bit quicker. But I think the first one, yeah, now being created. So should be here in like 40 seconds. No, 31 seconds actually.
Yeah, something about that. Anxiety scouts it now with 2 Choksodi, so he knows what's coming. Let's see what his reaction is. He should actually start building Podromos now. I just don't understand why he's not doing that. He has 2 stables, but he's not building them.
Perhaps a little bit rusty.
Podromos would be so good against what the Zertan has. They are absolutely strong against camels, and they also do fairly well against Axemen. And they also can kill the siege towers, which the Cerisophroi cannot, because they do pierce damage.
Yeah, exactly, but nothing coming out for Gift Anxiety just yet. Certain now going in with a siege tower. He's actually a little bit behind in score, but he's definitely ahead in population and going to wreck the stable here on the front. Already wrecked a house, I believe.
See, does he actually have... Oh, he has X-Men champion, so yeah, that is such a strong upgrade.
Yeah.
Anxiety needs to be very careful that not a couple of these X-Men are going into his villager line and the woodland, whatever, because with the splash damage, they are just completely destroyed.
Yeah, and there we have all the spearmen going up against these X-Men, but I don't know. Yeah, okay, he will probably be fine here for now, but...
Yeah, he will be fine, but it's absolutely not a good trade for him.
No.
Yeah, losing the stables, and he's just losing so many units to the splash damage. Like, it's a very bad trade for him, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, he lives. At least he lives.
He lives. But
still making this weird composition of spearmen and Cerisophroi. Only Give You Anxiety makes stuff like that. Unbelievable. But interesting, it seems to work out so far. Zertan is not ahead in supply anymore. They're pretty even right now.
Okay, so another siege tower came out from Zertan, but getting chased down by all Give You Anxiety's units. He's now spamming out quite quickly. He's very far behind in villagers. He's like 20 villagers behind, but very far ahead in military. They have about the same pop, so it's at least 20
Yeah, that is true.
military.
That is true. The thing is that his military is just weaker than Zertan's, because Zertan has the champion upgrades for the X-Men, and Anxiety has mostly Spearmen. What he needs is way more Toxotes, I believe.
Yeah,
There's a couple coming, 5.
Let's see how many archery ranges he has. He has 2, and he's got 2 Toxomes in queue on both of them, but I don't know if... look at Siege Tower coming in, finishing that stable.
Yeah. Zertan finally has more production facilities up, so he can actually make more units. Until just a couple of seconds or like 2 minutes ago, he was still sitting on 1 stable and 2 barracks, but now he's finally adding on more production facilities, so he can actually make units.
And adding more proxy siege workshops in the very north of the map. I don't think this has been scouted yet, again with a watch post there, so...
So it would be very smart by Zertan if he would just pull up a couple of siege towers, like maybe 4 or something, wait until Anxiety moves out of his base and then send them in. That would be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, indeed. He does now finally have all the wood for it. He's sitting on like 3 food for a while now, trying to get some farms up, but...
Nice raid on the right side, killing the villagers on the gold mine, and Anxiety again fighting back with the villagers. The villagers are like, you what mate? Come at me, bro.
Yeah, indeed, but losing so much villager time and HP on them, I don't think it's really worth it in the long term.
Yeah, not at all. Like villagers, like they can fight against 1 unit or maybe 2, but against 4 or 5 camels, there's nothing they can do actually.
Yeah, and what I do like about Zertan is Give You Anxiety was really rolling the forward base from Zertan in the middle of the map, so he built a fortress in his base to make sure Give You Anxiety couldn't roll too far out. And yeah, now going into the base of Give You Anxiety with the siege towers, killing off some houses.
Very nice.
I hope they will take out the archery range.
He needs to be so careful that he's not getting caught off guard by the army of Anxiety in the middle of the map. Oh my god, Anxiety's army is so much stronger. Zertan is going to lose everything, I believe.
He's going to take out some villagers near the gold mine.
Yeah, that's good, I believe. But, jeez, man, that is... Well, I think he's getting away with murder right there.
Yeah,
going in.
I don't know, Give You Anxiety was probably focusing on the siege towers because he was not really microing that fight in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. He could have killed all those units, but as it is, Zertan can just walk around and be annoying and kill villagers and whatever. Zertan now transitioning into chariot archers, and we should probably see elephants soon as Zertan has fixed his food economy, which seems very weak at the moment. He's just struggling for food really bad.
He's still building a little bit of farms, but not nearly enough, and he's got a lot of idle villagers, so I hope he will fix it pretty soon. Going for a raid on the gold mine again, but the gold mine already ran out, so Give You Anxiety needs to get her gold right in the middle of the map.
Look at the middle! Anxiety needs to react instantly, or oh my god, that is going to be so devastating. The villagers are just going to die so hard.
Yeah, definitely. Well, looks like they are getting away. Give You Anxiety.
Yeah, they're getting away because they're quite fast, but still, Zertan is running circles around Anxiety right now, being left, being on the right, siege towers here, units there. Looks like Anxiety is falling apart a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, he's still got some stable water economy, but not so many boats that it will really help him out here, and he's still like 12 villagers behind. So let's see. But his military pop is fine, but Zertan is still way ahead, I think.
Yeah, needs to be careful though that he doesn't lose all his chariot archers to Ceresopheroi, because the Ceresopheroi do so much bonus damage against the chariot archers.
Yeah.
They are so expensive.
Going down so quickly.
Oh god, the Toxotes getting such huge shots off. I don't know what Zertan is doing. He's just not building the right units. I mean, he has a big lead in the game just by having the map secured. I mean, I don't think Anxiety can push into the middle because there's a fortress and a town center. But still, I think Zerton needs different units. He cannot sit on these slingers and axemen and spearmen and whatever for so long. I think he needs elephants.
Looks like Certain is adding in some slingers against all the Toxotes of Give You Anxiety, which will help him, but let's see what Give You Anxiety is. Maybe he's getting caught off guard here with his
nice. Another raid on the left side on the gold mine, so Zerton is just relentless. He's just not letting Anxiety mine gold from anywhere on the map.
Yeah.
Very nice play by him. The multitasking is just absolutely amazing.
It's like whatever happens, there's always a few chariot archers somewhere on the map, and very amazing. A fortress going up in the middle, but that is not going up actually. All the Toxotes are coming in and sniping down these
You saw it. You saw it as like, oh, nope,
yeah,
I'm out of here. Nope.
Destroyed it.
Very nice. Oh, Zerton now has the resources to go to H4, which is exactly what he needs right now, because not only is Anxiety doing the same, but I believe he just needs those H4 units. We haven't seen it yet in the game, but Egyptians have kind of the counterpart to the ballistae of the Greek, which is the catapults. So Egyptians in H4 can build catapults. Oh, he's gonna catch the Toxotes off guard, maybe not, I don't know.
No, well, the spearmen are there in time. Where's the rest of Give You Anxiety's army? Oh, it's chasing those 4 chariot archers. Those 4 chariot archers doing so much work for certain. On the other hand, losing a lot of chariot archers here in the middle of the battle.
There we go. Finally, Zerton is building the first elephants, but I think he's making an absolute enormous mistake right now. He's building his Temple of Ptah, building that he needs to go to H4 right in the middle of the map, and that building costs like, I don't know, 3,000 resources or something. That is very risky to build such an important building like right in the middle of the map.
Yeah, definitely, and looks like it will go up. He's building it only with a few villagers.
Yeah, it will go up, that's true, but it can still be sniped by Anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, if it gets sniped, he will not go back in Age or something. He would stay in H4. But still, he can build one of the strongest units that Egypt has from that temple. And if he loses that temple, he will never be able to build that unit again, because he just cannot afford another 3,000 resources just for that unit.
Yeah.
The unit that you can build is the Priest of Ptah, which is a priest, kind of Vololo, like in every Age of Empires game. The difference is that it has area of effect convert, so you can convert multiple units at the same time.
Yeah, that is such an amazing feature against this huge group of Toxotes and spearmen, of course. Also 2 war elephants for Zerton out here, so if he can catch the Toxotes off guard, then he can do a lot of damage. And
absolutely, yeah. But I think he needs some catapults first. He's waiting for the catapults, which is a smart decision. There's no need to engage right now because Anxiety will take so long to kill that fortress. So he can just safely wait for the catapults, and there's the first one.
It is,
look at the splash damage. Oh my god, that is so
a lot of damage done. And yeah, there's the second one, and another elephant coming out. And now the elephants going in against this big grouped up cluster of spearmen and Toxotes.
Yeah,
there are a lot of ballistas out for Give You Anxiety, but he doesn't have a lot of infantry. Certain has. So
yeah,
elephants,
look at the elephants. Look at the elephants going. Oh my god, the splash, the carnage. No pun intended because it's my name, but the carnage.
Yeah, definitely. Certain losing his fortress here, and Give You Anxiety reacting to it by building a fortress on his own. But is it going up? I don't know. He's got a lot of ballistas to defend, but nothing else really.
Yeah, I think Zerton is struggling actually. He just doesn't know what to build. Anxiety has so many ballistae left, and Zerton just doesn't know what units to build, I believe.
Yeah, he's got a lot in queue, but his gold is very low. Let's actually see where he's gathering gold. Oh, he's got still 1 deposit with only 100 left, and 1 in the south of the map, so he should be fine.
But the problem is he just lost his fortress in the middle of the map, and the fortress is a building that he needs so desperately to build elephants, because elephants are the one unit that can save his ass right now, because they are good against everything that Anxiety has.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what Certain is actually going to do here. Looks like he's getting behind. He's still 20 villagers up, but at what cost? He doesn't have the resources in his bank to build enough units.
Absolutely, and now he's building siege towers again. That makes absolutely no sense. He needs catapults. I think Anxiety is actually winning this game. I can't believe it.
Yeah, he might actually come back from what was almost a certain death, but pulling back here.
Let me see if Zertan has any means of coming back in this game. What does he have? I mean, he has 2 siege workshops, so he can maybe pull up a couple of catapults and maybe come back in this game. He still has a couple of production facilities left as well, but it looks like Anxiety just has an absolute stranglehold on him right now with the fortress in the middle of the map. Even 2 Pelotons shooting down his production facilities and his town center.
Yeah, and the Wonder, the temple is already down. And town center going down quickly, and Certain doesn't have any resources in his bank to replenish everything he's lost. He got a lot of food and stone, but
yeah, he's down at 100 supply while Anxiety is basically maxed.
The one thing he's got going for him is gold income. Gives you Anxiety
By
doesn't
those
have a lot.
caravans, yeah, but there's 3 Hippicons inside the caravan line, so they are going to wreck the caravans, and I think at this point it just doesn't look too good for Zertan. I think that game might be over. He's building desperately a fortress in the bottom side of the map to get elephants, but I mean that is only one production facility that can build 1 elephant at a time, and they don't have a fast training time either. So yeah, GG Corpus.
Yeah,
in the
GG.
chat. Anxiety winning 3-2.
Congratulations, gives you Anxiety. This best of 5 series goes to you, and you can call yourself the victor of the first PvP show match of Age of Empires Online since it's relaunched.
Very, very nice play by both of these guys. I hope that everyone in the chat enjoyed these games. Maybe some of you got interested in Age of Empires Online. I would hope that. Very happy to welcome you to the game. Try it out, play some PvP, get good at the game, make yourself a name. I don't know. Yeah, I hope you had fun, guys.
Yeah, definitely. I had a lot of fun casting this with you, Carnage, so thank you. And yeah, what is happening from now on is basically, I think, I hope a lot of the Age of Empires Online community will move to our forums and you use your own board to communicate and also to maybe host a tournament in the future. I don't know if you have anything planned in terms of tournaments, but
oh yeah, we do. We have some collaboration going on, as you said, with you guys from ESOC TV, and we are planning to do some tournament series, you know, with seasonal tournaments, the summer series, spring series, the winter series, and so on, and then maybe make kind of a seasonal thing out of it, that you can gather points within these seasonal tournaments, and then maybe have a year-end tournament with all the guys who made the most points over the year, something like that. I'm not really into that kind of thing. Anxiety is organizing most of that stuff, so I don't exactly know what's going on, but I can guarantee you guys that these guys are making something absolutely amazing.
Yeah, very cool. I really love to see how ESOC has now grown so much. We can actually like integrate with another game here and host 2 tournaments, maybe at the same time even. And yeah, would love to see some more competitive Age of Empires. So really looking forward to it. We are definitely ready for it, and I hope with this partnership we can both like get better at our community building and at I don't know, providing competitive Age of Empires basically.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to see what the future brings. Hopefully we can get some good tournaments going. We can get some competitive scene going. We can get some activity by the guys playing every day. And I can assure you that now that the first, kind of announcement stream that we did right now with the first best of 5 is over, there's going to be so many people from the Age of Empires Online community who are going to stream PvP.
Yeah,
that there will always be something to watch. And yeah, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Come play Age of Empires Online. You will not regret it. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, definitely. And for those who are asking, how do I play Age of Empires Online? Well, there's from I think it's a Google Drive server. There's like the game where you can download it, and then you need an installation a key, a registering key, so that you can actually go on the servers, and that is so the developers can control how many people are on the servers at the same time, so they don't get like overloaded, because it's still community driven. It's not on official Microsoft servers or anything. And the instructions for that are all on our forums and on the Discord for Age of Empires Online.
Yeah.
What
Let me just link the Discord in the chat for everybody, so they
Yeah.
can join the Age of Empires Online Discord. That would probably be the best thing.
The only thing is that I want to motivate like you, the Age of Empires Online community, to actually go to our forums a lot, especially with tech questions, because then other people can read up on those questions and get them solved as well. Where in Discord, like most of the chats get lost, and you know, the same question gets repeated every half an hour because you're not reading everything that's being said. So yeah, I hope we can move some of that the installation stuff to the forum. So yeah, we can have like a pinned thread with all the most important questions and such.
Hey guys, I just snuck in here. Give you anxiety.
Anxiety in the house. What's up, boy?
Hey man.
What up, man? So, do you guys have any plans to stream on ESOC after this series, or you want to just close it and let whoever stream on their personal channel? I don't know if you guys were thinking of anything.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, like somebody. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. But maybe like PF2K or somebody could maybe take over streaming on this channel, and like give you guys a break. I'm not sure. I don't know. What
Yeah,
you guys
that would
think?
probably be best. Like, I probably have to go right now because it's 1 a.m. for me. I'm getting very tired. My throat
Right.
is getting sore from all the talking. So I think I'm gonna leave you guys to it. I hope you enjoyed my casting. I hope you had fun with the series. Thanks for everything to the ESOC team, and I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see each other again in the future, either play against each other, or maybe I'm gonna do some casting again. Hoping so, because that's kind of my thing. And thanks again, guys, for making this possible. To the guys to make the Project Celeste possible, to make Age of Empires Online playable again. And I guess I'm out.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Joel.
Thank you a
No
lot.
problem,
for
guys. See ya.
Great
And
casting.
Thank you a
no
lot for
problem,
your
guys.
insight
See ya, guys.
and your casting.
Thank you. No problem. All right, guys. I'm out. See ya.
Bye.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to close the stream off here, and I see there's some Age of Empires 3 gameplay actually going on at Queen's channel, Queen 1988 it is.
Oh wow,
So,
there's a lot of people there.
yeah, 100 people watching there. There's
Is he streaming? Grudge match. Wow, best of 7. Okay.
yeah, it's actually pretty cool. So I think I'm gonna watch that actually and eat dinner.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Age of Empires Online being streamed on here, like if that's going to happen right now, and I'm not in the media
Yeah.
team, so
Yeah,
somebody
probably
else-
not.
Yes, you have to arrange that with like our media team guys, which is Mr. Bramboy, MC Jim, Chrissy, and Jakey Boy. But I guess you guys have had contact with them already.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I'm going to close off the stream, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. So thank you all.
All right. See you guys.
See you guys later.